Hail and well met. Welcome to episode 7 of the Westgate Irregulars, brought to you by the Dungeon Scrawlers, here in the lovely Chaldea Studios, hosted by Gen Con. I am Eric Scott DeBee, your extremely tall DM for the evening and for the rest of the campaign. I hope that you are enjoying it. And we're going to introduce our players real briefly and tell you a little bit about our sponsors and other business that might be going on behind the scenes, starting with Erin M. Evans.
Hi, I'm Erin M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angel Saga. I'm going to tell you about our sponsor, Untitled Champions of the Forgotten Realms. It is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure. And that includes 2 of my characters from the Brimstone Angel Saga, Frida and Havalar. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Web, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, iPad and iPhone, and on all Android devices. For more information, check out idlechampions.com.
Idle Champions!
I'm Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy, specifically the Silver series, as well as short stories in Weird Western and space opera.
Hi, I'm Yang Yang Wang. I'm a filmmaker and a writer.
Hi, I'm Stephen Merlino. I'm a writer, and you can check out what I do on stephenmerlino.com. I play Sturge.
Hi, I'm Emily Tang. I am a writer and game designer at Wizards of the Coast. Disclaimer, all thoughts and opinions expressed in the stream are my own and do not represent Wizards of the Coast.
I'm Theophilus Fifthful, marshmallow farmer. And you can go to our website, dungeonscrawlers.com, for more info on all the players, characters, NPC profiles, and bonus content.
Thank you for that, Randy. Now let's go to everyone's favorite, Rogar's recap. What wonderful thing do you have in store for us this week, sir?
Aye, putting on the wee cap for the recap. Here we go.
Here we go.
Hi, I'm Rogar. And, well, you know, I'm trying out different things, different skills. I tried poetry, I tried song. Neither of those were great. So I thought maybe I'd pull it down a little bit, and I'd try something for the wee bairns. I heard this person doing the poetry in the marketplace. He's like dwarf or Seuss or something. Anyway, so I thought I'd give it a try. So here we go. This is based on our recent adventure, and I hope you enjoy it. 1 letter, 2 letters, dusty letters 3. Sturge got some letters. Oh, what can they be? They're from his long-lost family. The letters are like history. He hopes we'll solve the mystery. The history mystery, the zing-zang zistery of how a human so weird, with neither bits nor a beard, came to be. Sturge followed his nose to the town of Pros. The town of Pros on the Dragon Coast. Sturge followed his 8-inch nose. That's quite a nose to rock. But the nose, I suppose, is not quite a cock-a-wobbly-roo. But who needs a wobbly-roo that is cocked? When you have a cleric who likes to talk. Rogar is a cleric that likes to talk. Talk to Sturge about how to adore all. So see Sturge blush and try to ignore all of Rogar's drawn pics of fun chicks doing orally zimbambi. Zimbambi? No, zimbamboo. To Prost the whole party heads off to. Riding wumpily bumpilies and hoppity clops, they arrive to find orcs have set up shops. Orc shops, selling pork chops, and all kinds of woozily boozily hops. The orcs offer a chest made of gold so pretty, to find what terror beneath this city, what meanly, fiendily under the city is eating orcs with nay itty pitty. So down in the dungeons they scrawl so boldly, to find Sturge answers and win good goldily. But they hit a small hitch, a hitch that's a lich that's at Celia Tongues.
What?
And a gem,
You had to be
it's
there.
true, and the gem Sturge finds that traps his mind, showing visions of a lich pretty and young. But in the end, they end up friends, and the lich tells Sturge they're related. The gem responds to his lineage, but before we can finish, that's brilliant rhyming right there, folks. Artemisia disappears faster than an imp with fears, leaving only her ring, which drops with a pingity-ping. A riddle that truly stumps. Oh, fiddly-zumps. Fiddly-zumps? No, fiddly-twisters. Artemisia and Cecilia are sisters. Sisters by different misters. Who met that morn at a shop full of frilly-frou foinkles. And found a hot elf night. Artemisia'd like to boinkles. And by boinkles, I totally mean dress up nice. But he cannot pay Artemisia's price, and he is sent by Cecilia's not a patron, hunting Jiggle Wolf like a mean boo-boo wankin'. So to the arena they sended he. For Artemisia's second identity is a leader of a fighting team that all wear masks and blow off steam by bashing and bapping and zappity bolting to earn some fame under fake names like Smashing Basher and Wibbly Wames. Oh, what fin fun faulting. But what next came? What next came with the fiendly fiend and the goldity gold, the pingity ring, and the hints Sturge was told? I guess we'll find out, for that to be the game. What do you
Well
think?
done, Rogar. Well done.
I think I'll have a little bit of hope there with the wee Benners. Maybe they'll like my art. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, roll initiative.
Okay, wow, get right into it.
Dun, 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 dun,
So we
dun.
take you now to the churning, blood-soaked sands of the Quivering Thumb Arena outside of Westgate, where several of the Westgate Irregulars have decided to blow off some steam after their recent adventures. The battle unfolds. I'm going to take initiatives now.
Oh, you were serious.
I was serious.
He's always serious about initiative.
My
I'm
die was
always
not
serious
but-
about initiative.
That is absolutely untrue.
That is absolutely untrue.
You can only throw a roll initiative cry wolf so many times before we just stop believing you. But I rolled a 19.
Okay,
Woo! Nice.
19.
Power of
Celia.
Yeah.
Not all of them are on the sands fighting.
Oh,
Some
right,
of them are up in
I
the
rolled a
stands
19.
doing things.
To
So,
Watch.
Yeah, to eat popcorn.
Artemisia.
Eating popcorn fast, 9.
9.
Oof.
Okay. Yang.
12.
Okay, cool.
My die wasn't ready.
You guys
He
are going to
caught
be
it off
mad you
guard.
cut me out of the team. I'm just saying.
Come on, trade die.
Rogar.
Your die is not
I
pretty
got
enough.
a
I'm sorry.
5.
Excellent.
Dagger to the heart.
Caleb.
It's purple.
20.
20. Ooh.
Nice.
A non-fighter gets a 20.
Nice. You're a blade seeker. You.
And Sturge.
Sturge prefers to wait till he sees what others do, and then he makes his decision. You got
Cool.
7.
He got a 7.
Aye.
We've traded dice.
Oh, but you don't wait for me, I see, because I got a 5. That's fine. I understand.
Healers always go last.
True.
Okay. So, you were already in the midst of a battle with several individuals wielding swords, one of whom is a frankly terrifying woman with horns and black leather. She has learned her lesson from last time and no longer wears metal armor into the battle.
So
Heat metal can be a very versatile spell. We've
right.
learned.
when you
Yeah.
say you are facing, who specifically is on the sands?
Oh, I'm leaving it in
Oh,
suspense.
okay.
Well, definitely Stong is there because Stong has locked weapons with the Raging Sorrow.
No.
Not Stong, it is...
The Smashing Basher.
That's right. The Smashing Basher has made his triumphant return to the Westgate Arena. Folk are crying out in applause and joy.
Hey, now. Do you have a costume you
I'm
wear?
still young. I'm still cool. What?
Do you have a costume you wear as the Smashing Basher?
I do. I think I have a costume that's made by Artemisia, you know, courtesy of the Silks at Dawn.
Is it a onesie?
No. Artemisia would never perpetrate such a
it-
crime.
I was
Is
about
it
to
a
say
le-
yes, but thank you.
Is it a leftover scrap of fabric?
Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
This big.
yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, hanging
Yeah, I only wear a mask like across my eyes for some reason because that's cool, and that's it.
And apparently his saying is, YOLO, you only live orc.
Yes. So I'm locking blades with the Raging Sorrow, and the two of us have met many times before in the arena, and every time we meet,
Stong wins.
yes, we are undefeated, but there's a little bit of lingering tension between the two of us. As our eyes lock, it's not just fury and the desire of victory every time. There's also something a little extra. So as I'm like pressing my blade against her this time, I whisper, I like to whisper, I'd like to I'd like to charm her using my athletic skill.
Excellent. Make an athletics check. So the Raging Sorrow is a very muscular, very aggressive tiefling woman who wields this two-handed sword of golden energy. It appears to be a pact blade that she is wielding against you. And it cut through one of your previous weapons.
Oh, man.
Because it was just a mundane sword. But now that you have the magical sword, you are clashing swords and your muscles are throbbing against each other. And what did you get on your check?
22.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So that scene from Predator plays out.
Wait,
With
what's
even more sexual attention.
And the
Seen
crowd,
that movie?
the crowd,
Thing and they go,
they do that thing and they,
Oh,
yeah, she reaches for your
Yes.
throat and you grab her hand and you're just, right?
this is awkward, but also I like it.
The crowd quiets down and you can hear the tiniest of sounds. But
And real
one,
The sound of my heart.
but one thing that you hear is you hear Artemisia quietly speaking the words to a spell in the background.
So I quickly flex my pecs to distract the Raging Sorrow. So that
She does seem to be distracted by you.
I don't want her to look at Artemisia or notice Artemisia yet. I just want her to live in that moment of tension between the two of us.
Artemisia, it is indeed your turn.
Okay. So is the Raging Sorrow our only opponent, or does she have?
She's the only one still standing,
Okay.
much like every battle that you've had against her.
Does she look like really hurt right now, or pretty like I wouldn't
Oh yes,
drop her?
there's blood running from numerous wounds on her face and on her body,
Oh.
but she seems to thrive on pain and suffering,
Wait, quick question.
especially her own.
If their swords are locked and she lightning bolts the sorrow,
That,
You want to do that?
Oh.
Wait, this is the perfect instance.
Are you sure?
This is the "Are you sure?" flask.
Do we have a signal for this? Is this our team attack?
Well, you're
Lightning bolt me? I mean, it's your decision.
Well, I mean, I feel like we would have like this might have come up before.
just maybe. Just maybe.
Okay.
how many team members do you want to lightning bolt?
it would be kind of cool if everyone got one.
Yeah,
All right,
How
she's gonna
cool.
cast frickin' sleep.
Because that always goes.
All right. What does your heart say?
My heart says lightning bolt is
Do
coming.
it. Then do
Follow
it.
my heart.
Do you have to roll attack?
No.
No.
I do have to roll to resist, though, I think.
So it's a saving throw for Dex at 16.
Please. 19.
So Stang hurls himself out of the way,
You guys have practiced this.
and this was a lightning bolt. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Roll some damage for me,
Okay.
please.
8, 10.
Oh, that's bad news for the sorrow.
She was distracted by something.
She was.
So 27, and the reason for that is that Artemisia, like, she has cast lightning bolts since this came into effect, but this time she really needs to blow off that steam. So she just, and it works much better than it did when she was a level before this. Because the lightning feels good, feels real good.
How much better is this new lightning?
She gets +5 to lightning damage now.
Ooh,
So
nice.
because it's draconic
It's
ancestry.
electrifying.
And I had forgotten that before, so Artemisia just figured it out. So that was 27 total.
Okay. Unsurprisingly, sorrow falls over, and before she loses consciousness, Stang, you hear her say, "Worth it."
I nod at her silently.
The crowd breaks out into cheers, and you are declared the victors in this particular duel
Yeah.
in the arena.
I put out the fire that is lit on my hair from Artemisia's lightning bolt, and I wave at the crowd. But then I lean into her and I go, "That was a little close, wasn't it?" I didn't think you'd fight so seriously.
I will be more careful next time.
The
Sorry.
attendants of the arena come out to escort you to the resting area while they reset, haul off the unconscious people for the next fight. Meanwhile, Sturge, what are you doing on this particular day?
Picking popcorn out of his teeth, passing the popcorn to Kailath. Did I tell you I wrote a couplet about you?
Wow.
Listen to this. I was going to give it to Aiden and let him have it and deliver it to himself, but I'm too impatient. She treads the earth in angel's guise, and where she passes,
All things die.
corpses rise.
Oh.
Yes. What do you think?
I'll get to the corpses rise part. I'm not quite there yet. But we'll get there.
It does seem.
It seems like a good prophecy for the future.
I'll work on another.
Thank you.
So he just brings out his
so
journal
flattered.
and he's that's new. He draws some hearts.
I see. Okay.
That was
Rogar.
lovely, wasn't it?
As your companions are having their little chat, watching the fight, what are you up to?
What am I up to? Oh, well. Good people of Westgate.
The interlude between fights, Rogar starts proselytizing.
Life. Life is more than just not being dead. Look at those people fighting in the arena. If you were there, facing your imminent death, what thing that you hadn't done that you'd wish you had done? What person do you wish you had said, I love you, or had been kinder to that you had not in a while? What dreams have you deferred that you wish you hadn't? Well, life is living, and Sharindlar offers guidance and a path on how not just to be alive, but to live. Live with love. But I'm here to tell you, there's something else. The Bogglewomps. That's right. A never-ending darkness that can blot out the sun, day or night.
He had me for a second.
So, if you're going to your doctor over in Westgate Hills, you know the one, Doctor Everything will be all right. Instead of asking him, is there a cream for this? Ask him,
You just want me to cut away. All right.
Sorry. Because life is much harder in Toril than in the astral planes. So bring Sharindlar into your life, and when the Bogglewomps come, you'll be able to rise up and defeat them with love. Thank you.
Make a performance check.
Okay.
Okay, Cecilia, you've been listening to his performance, or whatever. Maybe you're not even there. I don't know. What'd you get?
What did you?
I really need to just burn this guy.
Throw it in the trash. Throw it in the trash.
So it keeps going, man.
I am...
Rolled a natural 20, right?
Yeah, let's see what it rolled clear on the other side of the room.
You want to know?
Still bad, right?
It's a 2.
That's exactly what I rolled. That's what I rolled on the table.
Throw it in
A
the
2.
trash. Throw
It
it in the
means
trash.
it.
This dice is like, no. I don't know. I'll offer this to like an enemy of mine or something like that.
So Rogar is delivering this excellent sermon that
Give that die to
was
Eric.
almost there and then kind of fell
Eric.
apart.
A present.
Hey, look at that.
Kayla,
6. Okay. All right, Cecilia, what are you up to?
I am listening to Rogar's stirring sermon, watching the people walking past, but also watching the idiots that I convinced should bet against Dong and Artemisia lose big.
I'm gonna need you
That
to
was
make
very
a.
satisfying.
I'm gonna need you to make a deception check to determine how effective that was.
It was 20. Dirty 20.
Oh yeah, you are in for some coin.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking I was making bets with them. I was just convincing them to make bets that were bad because I'm feeling a little powerless in this moment.
Did
I got
you-
cut out of the team while I was gone.
Did you vote? Did you bet on Artemisia and Stong?
I always bet on Artemisia.
All right, so you are in for a little coin.
Awesome.
And the more people you got to bet against them, the more coin you'd be in for.
That's what I was
So,
hoping would happen, but also it's sort of satisfying just to watch pompous idiots lose money.
Great. Great. Did you bring the wolf with you?
I feel like knowing that Sarshan is probably looking for the wolf, I would have suggested that he make himself scarce. But especially because Artemisia suggested Sarshan come here. But the wolf is his own person, so I didn't bring him. But if
Okay.
he followed me,
Okay.
then I don't want to disrupt anything the DM might have planned.
Fair enough. So, Stong and Artemisia, they have taken you inside to the rest areas, which have pillows and wine and snacks to replenish your energy between fights. There are fighters, their muscles being, massaged, and there's a bard playing in the corner, not particularly well.
But does Stong like it?
I do. I've befriended all of them. They all know me. I know all of them. We give each other the nod.
Do they
Yep.
play your
The guy
songs
nod.
from your sheet music?
Yeah.
The bard gives you a nod,
No.
and then
Roll the 1.
and
do
does not have your sheet music, so is not going to play it.
What's your manager doing?
Shake down the people who play it without paying the royalties. That's my job.
All right.
Good manager. That's how you know you hired the right manager.
So you head down into there, and immediately the master of the floor of the arena, Arthas, who's this big gray-skinned Goliath. If you don't know what a Goliath is, it's kind of a giant human creature with kind of like little stony barnacle-like growths all over its body. It tends to be very muscular and strong. And this particular Goliath is 7 foot and a half tall. He comes over to Stong and says, "Ah, the smashing basher!" He takes your arm, shakes it.
So when he takes my arm, you notice Stong kind of wince. His arm, it hurts him when Arthas takes it.
Arthas, Aethys, something like that.
And Stong
Yes.
pulls back his hand almost immediately afterwards, and just flexes it and says, "Hey, how's it going, friend?"
Ah, another fine victory. You're always entertaining to watch. I'm told that you were here for another fight as well, 2 in the same day. We are much blessed by the gods.
You are.
Are you sure?
I
could take it alone.
That's the spirit. He smacks Artemisia on the shoulder. Artemisia staggers into Stong.
Stong looks down at Artemisia with a worried face, and he says, "I don't know if that's such a good idea. I feel not to say that you're delicate, but you're..."
But you don't think that I could do it?
I believe that the bronze wolf can do it.
See?
She has a fire within her, or maybe it's lightning within her today. Well, anyway, your associate told me that you would like a second fight, and he is on his way to meet you in the arena. And then he walks away with no further explanation.
What a mysterious guy. But, we've never fought separately since we became a team. Do you think you could handle a bout by yourself?
Yes, but I would never try to cut you out of the team. That's not. You perhaps need to rest. That's all.
Well, I don't want to, deny you your solo debut, as it were.
If only you knew a cleric.
If only I knew a cleric. I feel that last attack, I wasn't really prepared for it, and it took a little more out of me than I thought.
Did you not talk to Rogar?
About being lightning bolted? No. I mean, it's fine. It turned out well, but yeah, I guess I'll take a little breather and, I'm gonna go put some money on you. You got this. So he puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, "But just in case, he's gonna." Yeah, he's gonna inspire you and enhance your constitution.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
That variant of the spell is called Bear's Endurance.
Do you have a song for that?
Sure. He goes, "Bear with it." And you get some more endurance. And so then he inspires you, so you get 1d6. Yes, you get 1d6.
To
Great.
what?
To either you can use it as damage or saving throw,
Oh, okay.
because I am a Valor Bard.
Yeah, so it's basically a floating bonus that you can
Gotcha.
apply.
You can also add to your AC.
Ooh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yep. So he's gonna go get Mirabelle from Nala, who's hanging out somewhere in the stadium, and then make his way over to the spectator seats to find his friends.
And just to be clear, well, her mask never comes off when she's in the arena, but underneath it, she does not maybe look quite as sure as she's talking. She's talking a big game, but
She wears a
Stone.
wolf mask?
yes.
Stong took her totally seriously, huh?
Stong is a straightforward orc.
In point of fact, I believe your bardic inspiration increases to D8 at 5th level.
Oh, sweet.
Ooh, dang.
All right,
I got a D8, don't worry.
Oh, okay.
cool. So, the big gate opens for the next fight, and the bronze wolf comes out alone onto the sands.
Bronze wolf, bronze wolf,
Is
bronze
that
wolf.
Artemisia? I mean,
Where's
the
Stong?
bronze wolf?
Where's Stong?
Stong shows up shortly afterwards, behind you, and you just see his big hand appear and grab the popcorn.
No, you give that back.
Whoa.
What are you doing
You're
here?
supposed to be down there,
He
aren't you?
spits the popcorn out to his hand and puts it back in your bowl.
No, you can keep that. You can,
Now the
Too
whole
late.
bowl is
Too
yours.
late. It is. He takes the bowl. Thanks.
it's all yours.
Well, she wanted to fight alone.
Wait, I'll have some of that.
Here you go.
Pre-softened.
Yeah, I'm the mama bird.
Appreciate it.
Oh, God.
Anyways, so she said she wanted to fight alone. I didn't want to deny her solo debut.
Are we up there with them now?
Oh yeah, everyone is up there
You
except for
just
Amelia.
said you're letting her fight. She's fighting alone. What is she fighting?
Who's she fighting?
What
I
is
don't
she
know.
fighting? What is she fighting?
A person sitting next to Sturge says, "She ain't fighting alone. Look." And you see, in the middle of the sands, a
No.
live figure in a red cloak,
Oh my god.
holding a sweeping curved sword, wearing a wolf mask.
Stong, did you just get replaced?
I hope not. But if they want to have a romantic moment in the arena, I don't know. I don't want to play third wheel.
Wolf pack!
How?
Swartamnesia, you are wandering out onto the sands, wondering if this was a good idea.
You're wondering
then
that
you-
very highly.
And then you see someone waiting for you in the middle of the sands. And, it's clearly Sarshan. He says, "Ah, my lady."
Sarshan? I
I
was thinking Lilton.
no, it's Sarshan.
Little
I
Red
Doesn't
Riding
do
Wolf.
stuff like that. Wreck his manicure or something.
I didn't realize
nails.
that this was when you were going to. But it's important to me that I accomplish this, and so don't help too much.
He says, "Very well, my lady. I shall not help too much."
Thank you.
Who is Sarshan again?
Aha. Sarshan is the elf who crashed into Cecilia's life and claims to be a fellow servant, companion from
We have the
a
same
far-off
friends.
land. They have a thing.
You have a thing. Okay.
It's my cousin.
He is
Which is going to get real weird if Artemisia sleeps with him.
All right. And he says, out of curiosity, is the Smashing Basher accompanying you?
No.
Oh.
I'm taking this fight, well, not alone, but...
Oh, no, I am here with you. I'm sure everything will be fine. And then a gate starts rising across the sands.
I am not
famous
sure
last
everything will
words.
be
Is it
fine.
a big gate?
It is a big gate, yes. And you hear a deep growl from within the gate. And Sarshan says, certainly it'll be fine. And that is when 3 lion-like creatures with huge bat wings burst out of the darkness, flapping toward you. And Sarshan says, I requested the monster fight so that you could not hold back with your magic. I thought that might please you. There are 3 of them.
So tough.
Yes, mixed feelings.
And let's see. Oh, and they rolled very well on their
And
initiative
very little
check.
time to process that.
Good idea, poor execution.
All right, so the Manticores go first. One of them swoops toward the 2 of you and looses a barrage of spikes from its tail, which you see looks like a cat-o'-nine-tails whip if the whips were all barbed spines. Fortunately, it only rolled a 7, so... But it attacks multiple times, so here we go.
Oh.
Oh my god. That's gonna drive it nuts. Okay, so the spike drills into the sand right in front of you. Then another one hits right in front of your feet, and then one smacks into Sarshan's sword and knocks him back. It narrowly missed him, and he says, "Ha! I meant to do that." And then the others also fire off their spines.
Should we be worried yet?
I'm worried. I'm extremely worried.
Can I see like a glint in your eye? Do you regret? Are you mad at me?
She regrets.
Oh, okay.
Well, she is wearing a mask. It's a little hard to say.
Oh.
I
As I
am ready
recall-
to jump down there. Is someone going to stop me? Because I don't think that will be good for my relationship with my sister. But I'm going to do it anyway.
I can help you get down there.
You're like, don't do it, don't do it, do it.
I
No,
mean,
I'd
what's,
be like, okay.
what's it gonna do for your relationship with your sister if she dies?
That's a really good point. I'm having these
question.
arguments. I'm right.
All right, so more spikes fly at you. Sarshan interposes his body between the spikes and you, several of which strike him.
Someone else
And he says,
suffering
"Ah,
from my poor choices.
I'm sure it will be fine."
Sure, it'll be fine.
And then he, with his sword, charges at the flying creature. So, Kailath, your turn.
You can fly. You can engage the flying creature.
This
got
isn't
wings.
my fight, is it?
You've got wings.
Let's see. I guess gonna take a quick look around, see if who else is in the stadium? Is recognizable?
All of you, make a perception check.
That is a 7.
7.
Oh, retire that. Give that one to Eric also.
Yes.
Okay. You don't see anyone that you really recognize other than these fine individuals. In
So
fact,
what-
you're not really sure who that red elf is down there.
Yeah, a little too nearsighted, staring at books all the time. So
Fair
what?
enough.
So what exactly is the penalty for someone outside the fight jumping in?
No,
I'm pretty sure
No
they love
penalty.
it. They
Yeah.
love it when that happens.
Once you enter the ring, you're in the fight. I think that's the rule.
It
is that
depends. It depends how dramatic it is.
If you flew in, it would be
Anything for a
so
show.
dramatic.
What you can't do is do something from the stands. You have to be in the ring to do something.
Right. They do frown on participation from the stands.
How close are we? Like, could I run and jump in?
60 feet of movement, and then you can jump into the ring.
All right. Are we? I mean, okay. I just want to ask everyone else. Are we agreeing to jump in and interfere with her fight?
I'm already like about to move.
But
this
she
looks-
asked to do it by herself.
She
Had a chance
looks
to stop
like
me, and you all told me it was a good idea.
This looks kind
Ship
of
has sailed.
dangerous, though.
Oh, come on.
She's
let's go.
squishy.
You or Artemisia? Which she are we talking about here? You're both a little squishy.
Both.
But two squishy things is a less squishy thing.
Yeah, it's two squishy things is, you sort of divide
All
out.
right, so you're having this discussion.
We're gonna lose all our
And Cecilia
costumes.
gets up and just heads
I'm
in.
going.
So it's your turn next.
Okay. It's about 60 feet, so I can run and jump. What if I I shouldn't use up my Misty Step probably. I'll run and I'll jump. I'll do that.
Okay, make an athletics check.
This part's not going to be very good. It's a 3.
It's a 3. Excellent. You
All the
run,
die to
you
Eric.
leap, you trip over the railing, and end up falling to the
misty-stepped.
sands.
I should have Misty Stepped.
You only take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okie doke.
You kind of misty stepped. You missed your step.
You missed ye step. Okay.
Can I do anything else, or is that
Well,
it?
that was a move and then a
that's what I
dash. So yeah,
Is this
unless
the
you
end
have a
of the-
bonus action you want to use,
I could have used Misty Step.
it's true.
Hang on a second. Sorry. My new spell is not a bonus. Never mind.
Okay, it is Sarshan, and what he does is he leaps much higher than you would have expected, and grabs one of the legs of the flying Manticore and like rolls up onto it and stabs it with his sword.
Wow.
And he is now riding the thing, stabbing
Badass.
it with his sword.
You're into it.
Nice.
You're into it.
In fact,
The spice of danger, man.
The whole crowd, I'm sure, is in.
okay. So red power flares around his sword, and then he drives it down into the Manticore, doing a lot of damage to it.
Show off.
Well,
One die a lot.
he's in a situation where he's got to fight for his life. Okay.
He caused the situation.
Inadvertently. Stop. He caused it with chaotic choices.
Okay, so Star's gonna look at Artemisia. Does she look like she's floundering or panicked, body language wise?
Artemisia, make a Constitution check. I believe you have advantage on Constitution checks
Do I?
since he cast Bear's Endurance on
okay.
you.
So that's 14.
She's keeping her cool pretty well. She looks
Okay.
very, very strong and solid.
Behind her mask.
Yep, exactly. You're wearing the mask.
Okay, so I guess Stong will hold his action. If she ever looks like she is panicked, then he will act.
Okay. The amplified voice that yells around the arena speaks up and says, "A new challenger has entered the." Oh. And then it is Artemisia's turn.
Okay. So our
You're gonna lightning bolt all 3 of them, and I'm gonna fall in him for no reason. This is my prediction.
well, so she's gonna see if there's a range within her movement where she can get at least 2 of them into a line.
Yeah, 2 of the Manticores are like hanging out by the gate, and then 1 is flying toward you
Okay.
because they have the ranged with the
Yeah.
spikes.
So
So
she's-
you think you can get the 2 on the
Yeah,
ground, or you
doing-
can get one of them plus the flying one, although that runs the risk of hitting Sergeant.
Yeah, she's not gonna do that. She's
Okay.
gonna go for the 2.
So Artemisia starts channeling power and then runs to the side to get into line. Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll, and I'll do their saving throws.
Is she
Did
really?
you need a die? I have a die for you.
No, I'm good.
Oh, all right.
They did both fail, so
Okay.
they were not expecting this.
That is
It's failed.
Everybody's surprised here.
Yeah.
The Manticores are like, I'm sorry, what?
36.
Oh, wow. Wow, okay.
for her, like-
Maybe they can handle it by themselves.
I have faith in you, I believe.
Thank you, Stong.
How many third level slots do you have?
Okay. Sturge, your turn. So the person sitting next to you was like, huh, this is amazing. Isn't this amazing? They nudge you.
Sturge will stand up, brush the popcorn off of himself, turn to Kailath and Stong and Rogar, are you there?
I mean, it isn't my turn yet, but I imagine I'd be tending to.
Yeah, you're standing there like,
If only I hadn't rolled so low on my initiative.
yeah, exactly. Well, your initiative is 2 more, so. I mean, he got a 7 and you got a 5.
Aye.
Yeah.
Let's go down to the edge. At least that way, if we need to act, we are in position to do so. I'm going. Join me if you like.
You are very fleet of foot, recall, because you have the cunning action and can dash as a bonus action. So you could still do something once you get to the edge if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in position
Okay.
and watch, because if she lights him up again with another lightning bolt, I don't want to be standing there going,
Looking like an idiot.
Try me once, shame on you.
All right. Rogar, what do you do?
I noticed, Stong's kind of like, he winces when he's reaching into the popcorn bowl there. So, you look a wee injured there. Here, let me just take care of that for you, and I'll cast a Cure Wounds on his arm.
Yeah, don't let Artemisia know that it was her. Just pretend like it's like I was writing too much music. Carpal tunnel.
Tendinitis.
Too much music. I created too much art.
I think I'm getting practiced at not telling Artemisia it was her. So,
You're just so powerful.
How much did you heal him for?
excellent question. I should
We're
pull
on
out
our
my
A
character sheet
game.
and all that fun stuff. Sorry, folks. I heal him for X points. Moving on.
What spell slot did you use?
Just one.
Okay, so it's 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That sounds right.
Sure. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
A 1 plus
Excellent.
1 plus 4 is 5.
Stong says, so, okay, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Only one of
Sorry.
my fingers feels better, but I'll let you guess which one. Never mind. I don't know where I was going with that, but
Nice.
it went darker than I thought.
Round 2, the Manticores.
I'm the worst.
Are
right.
you moving closer?
Am I?
Yeah, in
No,
addition?
I'm
or are you just still standing up in
I'm
the
still
stance?
standing, tending to him, and obviously having a bit of a struggle with it.
Okay, the
So-
Manticores.
Your head is really with Artemisia.
Yeah.
So the flying,
I guess
the,
Arshan.
the Manticores that you blasted with the lightning bolt, you disturbed them. Obviously, they leaped up into the air, and now they are coming toward you.
Yeah.
And Sarshan says, "Oh no!" But the Manticore that he is wrestling attacks him. So here we go. Okay, so it can't quite get to him with its claws, but when he looks back, hesitating, it manages to bite him.
Oh,
Okay. He grunts in pain. All right. The other Manticores.
How high in the air is that one?
It's only like 10 feet off the ground because it was essentially pouncing toward them. These Manticores have flown up into the air and are now kind of flapping around 30 feet in the air, and they are going to launch their spikes at Artemisia again.
Oh.
They are not aware of the rest of you as combatants at this point.
I mean, despite your grand entrance, nobody else notices.
Okay,
There's a pile of dead fish over there or something.
two spikes just sail past you without even the chance of connecting. One is a 19, however.
Okay.
Ooh.
And is this when I can use shield?
Yes, this is when you can use shield.
Okay, so with shield, it would not hit me.
Okay, great.
Wow.
The other Manticore is going to launch its spikes at you as well. And that is going to be a 16, or 14, sorry, which plinks off your shield, no problem. 8, which misses you entirely, and a 17, which also plinks off your shield, I believe.
Love that.
Because the shield lasts until her next turn.
Eric, can you, so it's a circular arena, right?
It is a circular arena about 90 feet in diameter.
Okay, and then Cecilia jumped in at one point, which is where Sturge is probably, same aisle.
Yes.
Right, okay.
You are basically above where Cecilia jumped down.
Okay.
You didn't
and
even
then-
ask if I was okay.
Jumped. Jumped down, yes.
He knows you're not. It's fine.
And then Artemisia also went to the edge. How close to Cecilia is Artemisia?
Artemisia is 90 degrees separated from you. So if you're at 6 o'clock, Artemisia is at 3 o'clock.
Okay. Gotcha. So to our right.
To your right,
Okay.
yes. 45 feet that way, 45 feet to your right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which is, with how diagonals work in 5th edition, 45 feet away from you.
And where's the gate? The big giant that they came out of?
They came out of a gate
Magic
at
math.
12 o'clock, so directly across from you.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Are we becoming the math stream tonight?
Thrilling.
No.
Here, learn angles. Learn.
Angle?
You know,
Fine.
5th edition is a great combat system. It's to
Whatever.
emulate
we don't have to do
combat.
trigonometry.
Don't worry about
We're
it.
good.
Yeah, yeah. We're good.
Okay.
We trust
All right, Kailath, your turn.
So how?
So you are left up in the stands with these two, with Rogar and Stone.
You make that sound like it's a bad one. You're left up in the stands with these two.
I've been abandoned up here with.
I didn't say it like that, did I? All right.
No, I know. I'm just joking.
Hey, you're in the safest place there is right now.
Yeah.
All right. What would you like to do?
So Kailath is not good at thinking under stressful situations. She's not good at making snap decisions. If someone else tells her to do something, she'll probably do it though. She's like, you know better than me. All right. So she's probably going to follow Sturge.
Okay, so you head down there as well.
Yep.
All right.
So
The person who had been sitting on the other side of Sturge just claims your popcorn.
Surprise!
It's wet.
how close is the nearest chimera from the edge of the state?
The Manticores,
Manticore.
one is in the center of the arena, so 45 feet away from where Sturge is standing.
Okay.
Sturge is 60 feet from you,
Okay.
from where you start. So if you move your full movement, you become 30 feet away from Sturge. So 30 feet and then another 45 feet would be 75 feet to where the nearest Manticore is, in the middle of the arena.
And I can't do that all in one.
And that's the one that Sarshan is fighting. Well, you can't move that far in one round, but you could move the 30 feet and then cast a spell or something.
Maybe if you glided on your wings, just kind of coasted down.
No, I'm pretty slow. I'm out of practice.
Okay.
I'm faster just running. All right, I will get as close as I can.
Okay, so you dash and you get up to where Sturge is.
Yep.
Okay? You're both at the edge of the arena. Cecilia,
Okay.
you pick yourself up.
Yes, I do.
Excellent.
I am gonna put my mask on, save a little.
Ha!
Nobody can see me.
It's
being
the
bright red.
Astral Diamond, says the announcer. The voices go around the arena.
Here's my question.
What a surprise! And the crowd
right.
starts cheering.
That's right. I was somebody once. How is Sarshan looking?
Hot.
No, that's not what I mean.
He looks bloodied.
Okay.
And he is
Cecilia
wrestling that Manticore for dear life.
has had a moment to watch Artemisia be quite a badass and protect herself, and she felt a little stupid. Then she realized Sarshan needs help, and so she's going to aim a witch bolt at that Manticore.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll.
Fail me.
So that Manticore is 45 feet from you, which is well within the range of Witch Bolt.
Oh, I know.
I'm just clarifying
Me
for
too.
everyone else. All right, that hits.
Unlike some people who didn't have their spells.
That is 17.
17 damage. Okay.
Lightning damage.
The lightning smashes into the Manticore, who goes, ah! And Sarchin leaps away just before your lightning slams into the Manticore, so that he doesn't also get hit by the lightning. And he says, emissary.
Less talking, more fighting.
Of course. And, well, he does get to go next, so he is going to bring his sword down on that Manticore.
I also screamed that very loud, but for you, I did not scream it very loud.
It's very thoughtful of you.
Try.
That red energy goes through his sword again, and he is going to smite the Manticore. Okay. So, and that kills it. So he chops its head off.
Nice.
Ow. Big roar.
He
in
says,
the crowd.
"What a team we make!" Your sister. And then he rushes over toward where Artemisia is. The other Manticores are up in the air, and he can't attack them. He has 2 attacks, but he can't get to them.
He's not jumping around trying to hit them, is he?
They're 30 feet in the air. No.
Okay, good. I
he,
don't know. Sometimes Harshen's a little...
He runs over toward Artemisia and is kind of standing protectively between where the Manticores would be if they were on the ground and her. Okay. Stong.
I just want to say, like, last round, Stong was watching. He was super impressed by, like, how Artemisia's handling herself. He's sad he ever doubted her. She doesn't even need that bear's endurance. And he holds up Mirabelle to be like, look, your auntie's a badass. Role model.
Auntie Artie,
Don't lightning bolt your dad.
Auntie Artie, zap zap.
Yeah, so I guess, I feel like she's doing great. So he's just going to continue to hold his action and watch and, cheer from the stands.
Excellent.
Do you take the popcorn back? Someone took the popcorn, apparently.
Oh, okay, I will hunt down the missing popcorn. That is my quest.
There is
Your seatmate now. It's the guy next to you.
there is a nondescript person who is like eating that popcorn.
Does this person look rude?
Make an investigation check.
Okay, all right.
Does that involve like touching and
11.
prodding?
11. Just looks like just someone who's enjoying the fight.
I tap this person on the shoulder and I say, excuse me.
They turn to you. There's like popcorn hanging out of their mouth.
Are you a dingle dangle? Because I believe that popcorn was not purchased by you.
They extend the popcorn toward you.
Well, quest complete.
Received item, half-eaten popcorn. Artemisia, your turn. So now you and the nondescript person are watching the fight. All right, Artemisia.
Okay, so there's 2 left. Are they in a line?
No, they learned their lesson.
Okay,
And they are
that's what I
flapping. Well, they're kind of like circling around the arena. One of them is flying counterclockwise, the other clockwise.
Does either look more hurt than the other?
They look
I'm
to
not-
have taken exactly the same
Okay.
amount of damage.
As I said it, I'm like, that's a silly question. She will bolt the one that is presently closest to her, and they're circling.
Okay.
The rude-looking one.
The rude-looking one.
Well, according to the book, Manticores are extremely rude. They possess a malevolent nature and the ability to converse. In the course of attacking, it denigrates its foes and offers to kill them swiftly if they beg for their lives.
Wow.
Ah, you bronze elf, you will die. Beg for your life. And Mirabelle's like, any Artie Zap Zap.
Anything worse than...
Okay.
Are you lightning bolting one of them again?
Yes.
Oh my.
She has one left. She's going to use
Okay.
it.
The spell slots.
Oh, that Manticore made a big mistake. How much damage does your lightning bolt do?
Let's see. That is...
You open your mouth, you swallow a lightning bolt.
It starts to say something deprecating about you and or your costume. And then you hit it with a lightning bolt.
Oh,
34.
don't talk about her clothes.
34, you blow it out of the sky.
And then the other one gets
and
her.
it falls smoking to the sands.
This is why you never trash talk your opponents.
Yeah, the crowd starts cheering wildly. Sturge.
Well,
Okay. Sarshan says, "Ha ha! Well struck, lady. Well struck. You are beautiful and powerful."
is there popcorn nearby in the stand?
You could steal some popcorn from somebody. Most of the crowd is like on their feet. Some of them have knocked over popcorn. Some of it's just sitting there.
Mage hand popcorn.
Yep. Make a sleight of hand check, please. This is the best use of Mage Hand that
Coming soon to your mobile platform, Popcorn Quest.
29.
Oh yeah. You got not only a Mage Hand full of popcorn, but also a hot pie.
Oh, wow!
My pie?
You can retire from your life of adventuring now. You've done it. You've achieved.
In the dream.
It's all
Yeah.
downhill from here, my friend.
Kailath, do you take a bite of that?
Yes. She
Okay,
takes a bite of the
it's
hot pie.
warm and meaty and potatoey and tastes wonderful.
Smells lovely.
Mince and tatties.
Just, it tastes as wonderful as not being in the line of danger. Rogar,
Very delicious.
Aye.
your turn.
My turn, right? Well, they seem to be doing rather well.
Yeah.
But Rogar's mostly just kind of watching Sorsen, probably, actually.
Fair enough.
Because he's, concerned
He's concerned, yeah.
About his ass.
about
What is happening?
his.
He was my night first. I only even want to sleep with him, but he was my
what?
night first. I'm
No,
just
no,
saying.
no, no.
Is there a crier in the
I'm
stand?
watching him because I'm concerned. You don't know him very well. He's just showing up and he's fighting with Artemisia, and I don't know why. And so I'm just a little worried. So I'm just watching him very closely.
He does look quite injured, like
Oh.
bloodied.
All right.
Like there's a gash across his shoulder. You can see the cuts in his cloak.
Aye.
But it's not bleeding as much as you'd expect. Like you saw that bite really chomp into his shoulder, but like his arm's still working. And he does have a shield. Like, you didn't see the shield before, but he has a shield.
All right. All right. So, aye.
Okay, so you're
As
just
long
kind
as
of
he's
waiting.
not like doing anything shady,
Okay.
and he seems to be really giving his best effort and a very impressive effort. I will just continue to monitor the situation.
Does
All right.
does Sarshan's hair blow in slow motion?
No.
A little bit.
He's got
It's
like a funny mask on. If his hair's blown in slow motion, his mask's not on straight, he's gonna look like a total
he
goof.
has very long, kind of wild hair that goes out behind his mask.
Fair.
Okay, yes, this Manticore has decided that ranged combat with the blaster is not going to work, so they crashes down next to you and Sarshan and attacks you in melee.
Yes.
Sarshan interposes his shield with one of its attacks. Okay, yes. 14 is going to miss you, I think. And then it claws. One of its claws hits a 24. So your shield would have dropped at this point. I don't think
Yeah.
you can shield your way out of that one.
Okay, no, she can't. Even if she could,
Right.
cast it again.
So that does 6 points of slashing damage to you. So you take 6 points of slashing fashion damage as your costume is torn open by the creature's claw.
Okay.
I know, that's worse than taking actual damage. No, you did take actual damage. You're just narrating it. Okay. Kailath, your turn. So the Manticore has landed and is now clawing at them.
I mean, it looks like it's gonna die soon, right? It's probably
You
gonna
have a
die
keen
soon.
sense for when things are going to die. And you think that one's going to die pretty soon.
Developing a very keen sense for that. But I guess Kailath feels a little silly now for rushing down here. It's like, oh, my friends are in danger. I'm gonna help. Wait, they're actually fine. So she's just gonna
Keep eating that hot pie.
keep eating that
Well,
pie.
there you go.
Free meat pie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the pie that she totally bought for herself.
Okay.
Free food tastes the best.
Has Kailath eaten anything recently?
Popcorn.
Popcorn, there you go. This is maybe turning into a really good day for Kailath. Cecilia, your turn.
Well, Cecilia was going to kind of make eye contact with Artemisia and be like, do you want me to help or should I stay back? But at this point, whatever she was saying, whatever silent conversation they were having, doesn't matter. It slashed her, so I'm going to try and Witch Bolt
Okay.
again. One
Okay.
more time. Don't fail
Great.
me. Oh, that's not as good. That's a 14.
14 will hit.
Oh, well, that's good.
They're pretty big and easy to.
What's your lightning look like again? It's like a bright white.
Bright white.
Bright white.
Hence her nomiker, the Astral Diamond, in the arena.
This is better. It's 25.
25.
Dang.
Wow. All right.
One really good spell.
Okay. So, the Manticore is still up. It is Sarshan's turn, however.
You two should be an arena duo.
She asked.
He looks to the creature that is attacking Artemisia. He looks to Artemisia, who is lightly wounded, and he decides to help Artemisia. So he reaches out and touches your arm gently with his hand, and you feel healing magic flowing into you.
Warmth also.
How many hit points are you down?
It's 6, wasn't it?
Okay, he heals you 6 points of damage.
Well, the bear's endurance gave her temporary hit points of 11 over her max.
So
So does she heal temporary hit points?
Oh, if she's not actually missing any hit points, then he would do something else.
Oh, okay.
If you're not actually injured, okay.
I didn't know how temp hit points work, so.
No worries. All right, he does not do that. Instead, he is going to strike the thing with the sword. There we go. Okay. He was distracted by Artemisia theoretically being injured, even though she's not actually injured, and he missed with his attack.
He was
he
really
was
into the thought
distracted
of
by her
healing you.
torn clothing.
He was distracted by her torn clothing, yes. That is literally what I said in a roundabout way. All right. Stung, are you interceding?
the visual
No?
I mean, he and Mirabelle just watched her destroy a second Manticore, and now she seems like she's doing
So-
just great.
Mirabelle is looking over at this person sitting next to you and going,
I look back at the person sitting next to me. What is it, Mirabelle?
Mirabelle says,
Do you want me to kill him?
Daddy, smash, smash.
Mirabelle, that's not something that we do to strangers for no reason. We've talked about this.
Teach your daughter about proportional response.
Mirabelle says, not stranger.
Not a stranger.
Okay, you look back, the person is no longer sitting there.
Whoa! I get a chill in my spine.
The bag of popcorn is standing there and kind of half leaned over because it's mostly empty. But the person is gone.
What a dingle dangle. So Stong's gonna search his memory and replay the scene and try to. I mean, is
Okay.
there something I could roll to try to figure out, like
Make an
who that
investigation check.
person is? Okay, cool. It's an 11.
No. You think the person must have. You think you would have seen the person leave, so maybe they slipped away through some more than normal means. Okay, Artemisia, your
Yes.
turn.
Well, so no more lightning bolts.
Yes, the Manticore has turned its fury on Sarshan, who just attempted to stab it and failed. It does look pretty injured, like it's limping badly. One of its legs is very well burned by that lightning that is currently dancing around it.
Well, so she still has her magic missiles.
That
They're
is true.
not as flashy, but they get the job done.
That is also true.
So, and she's gonna cast at 2nd level.
Okay, so that should be 4.
Yeah.
4 magic
pyramids.
missiles come arcing out of Artemisia's finger guns.
7 and 10.
10 is sufficient to drop that Manticore bleeding and dying to the sands.
Wow.
The crowd cheers. Ah!
Yeah.
Sarshan immediately goes over to Artemisia and grasps you by the shoulders and says, "Are you all right?"
Of course she's all right.
And he goes over to you and he tries to grasp you by the shoulders.
Touch me.
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
They're
That
grasping
looked like a
cousins.
nasty fall.
It's fine.
You were limping slightly.
It's fine.
Oh, of course, you're fine. It's
I
fine.
just saw you getting eaten by a manticore, and I was worried.
Oh,
That's all.
that's true.
Did that just actually just happen?
Yeah. You hit 2 of them.
Sarshan says, "Yes, you should be proud. You were excellent. Both of you, you were excellent. I am only pleased that I could be a small part of it." And he puts his hand on his shoulder and sends healing magic into himself.
Thank you
Was it
for
candy?
your assistance. Did that just actually
I love how excited you are.
Very excited. Okay.
But being that I am limping slightly, maybe we should go.
So is the announcer
Yes.
speaking at the end of the battle?
Yes, the announcer is announcing the victory of the Bronze Wolf, the Astral Diamond, and the Blood Wolf. Ah!
Wave!
And Sarshan says, "Does he mean me?"
Yes.
Aha!
You need a name.
Fair enough.
If you don't like that one, you gotta fix it now, because it's gonna stick.
I was simply wearing what I woke up in this morning.
I gave you good clothes.
So do these conjured creatures now disappear? Is that how conjured creatures work?
Not in this case. The attendants come and like haul these bloody Manticore bodies out of the arena.
In the meantime, I'd like to usher Rogar and join Kailath and Sturge, and I tell them there was somebody sitting next to us, and Mirabelle noticed a sinister presence. I think that there's something evil going on in this arena. We better be wary.
Damn it. I thought about that when that fellow was talking to me. But I didn't act on it.
Excellent self-control.
So Cecilia and Sarshan are having their little banter, right? And Artemisia is looking around like, "Oh, I just destroyed those Manticores with all that lightning." And then her gaze falls upon one particular person standing in the stands, and she just kind of jerks upright because you recognize this person, a very well-dressed woman, somewhere in her middle age, a human woman, with a retinue of attendants and servants. And you, well, Sarshan says, "Are you all right, dear one?"
What's going on?
We have to go. We have to go right now.
Okay, we have to go right now.
The announcer says, "Stay in your seats for the Black Scorpion, who is coming to the sands shortly hereafter. And perhaps the Blood Wolf shall fight again." And he's like, "I wouldn't mind fighting again."
We'll leave him behind.
I'm going with her.
But you know, the cause of nobility, I must go, and he follows them.
So it looks like you're scurrying away at the announcement of the Black Scorpion.
I don't care. I'm going for the
You
rest
know,
area.
Yeah, the announcer says, "Who knows who will come onto the sands tonight? Ah, it's a mystery here at the Thumb. Pay your servers." All right. So, the scene at the arena is over. There was a mysterious presence, and a battle was well fought and well won. And I think that is a good time for us to take our little break. It's a little bit quicker than previous. So, before going into the break, teasers for what's going to come. So we're going to learn, well, we're going to see more Sarshan banter, I'm sure. We're going to learn who that, Aaron's making the face. We're going to learn who that,
Cecilia making a face.
we're going to learn who that woman was. And we're going to learn a little bit more about that mysterious presence because a certain item is missing. So,
From me?
Go ahead. Well, from somebody.
Everybody,
So,
check your pocket.
go ahead and vote on who you would like to see in my interview +1. Anyone is an option except for Sturge. Steven is not available for this interview. Mods, I hope you're taking note of that. Go ahead and start the poll. We'll see you back in a couple minutes, and thank you. Well met. I'm here with Emily Tang, your pick of the interview +1 for today. Hey, Emily, how's it going?
Very good. How about you?
Good, good. You're all recovered from your sickness last week.
Yes.
Excellent.
I'm no longer contagious. Maybe.
Excellent. No, it's all good. We're just gonna get into some questions, but I wanted to ask you, how's Kailath doing? She seemed to be enjoying herself a bit in that scene, even though she wasn't actively involved in the battle.
Oh yeah, she was enjoying it real well. She got food, she got more food, and it was hot. She's been a little low on funds. She's kind of perpetually low on funds.
Okay.
Like, this has been great. Oh, and her friends didn't get injured too badly.
That's true. The one who took the most damage was the NPC, who Kailath didn't even know who he was. So
Yeah.
it's all good. Has Kailath heard from a certain House Vamos necromancer recently?
She has not.
Ooh.
She might be deliberately avoiding him
And how long do you think that will last?
as long as she can stretch it.
Excellent. All right, questions from the chat. So, first question from Player Red. Does Emily like spicy food?
Depends on what kind of spicy.
What kind of spicy do you like?
There's the Sichuan food that's like, it's spicy and it's numbing at the same time. And for some reason, I like that a lot and I can eat a ton of it, but I can't eat normal spicy without the numbing sensation. That just kills my mouth.
Sweet.
Usually it's the opposite way.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people are fine with spicy, but they can't take the numbing.
That's interesting. So, do you think that makes you a strong palate or just a unusual palate?
I would just say unusual.
Unusual, excellent. All right, question number 2. What's the deal with Kailath not flying? Oh, okay. So, tell us what you would like to tell us about Kailath not flying. Everyone's listening in rapt attention here on the set.
Let's just clarify. It's not necessarily that she can't fly. It's just that no one has ever seen her fly. There's no proof that she cannot actually fly. But speaking outside of that, there's something going on with her wings, and that might or might not have a magical reason behind it.
Interesting, intriguing. All right, next question. Is Emily working on any particular projects right now, parentheses, that she can talk about?
There's absolutely nothing I can talk about.
There you go. That is a classic Wizards answer. And so we know that the answer is yes, and she can't talk about it. My opinions do not reflect those of Wizards of the Coast either. So, all right.
No opinions here reflect Wizards of the Coast.
That question was from Seldrine801. This question is from Manigarath Susej. Sorry if I get it wrong. Yeah, no, I see what you did with your name there. How old is Kailath?
Oh, actually, it's my character sheet right
It's
there.
on her character sheet. Hold on.
Kailath it is not on her character sheet.
Maybe it's on the other side? Nope.
It is, yep.
She's ageless.
Kailath, okay, so give us a general time category that Kailath would be in. Is she a young adult,
Yeah,
an adult?
I would say in human years, she's a young adult. She's probably close to like 18 to 20. So she's very much, she's just cut loose and she's kind of in this wild, slightly rebellious phase.
What is she in dog years?
What is she in dog years?
2. All right. Yeah, so that's probably around 80 or 90 as an elf, maybe 100.
Yeah.
100 is considered generally a kind of elf adulthood. It sounds like Kailath is just on the cusp there. All right, question from Player Red. What is Emily's favorite magic card? Ooh.
Favorite magic card, huh?
Yeah.
And he trolled a bit. I think he said his favorite was blue-eyed white dragon.
My favorite magic card
Might have
is...
to think about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that.
There have been a lot of magic cards.
Probably just Counterspell.
Yes.
Because I'm that kind of
Classic.
player. My favorite way of having fun is no one else having fun.
Excellent. That doesn't reflect on the stream yet. Yeah, no, Counterspell is fantastic. I used to, once upon a time, the last time I actively played Magic was during the Tempest set, so that was like 20 years ago. And I used to have a Craw Giant. I was very pleased with that. Craw Giant is like a Craw Worm, except it has Trample and Rampage. And Rampage is the most broken ability at the time. It was great.
This is what I have to say there. Just no.
Just
No.
no.
Cut that out. Cut that out right now.
It's absolutely not terminally bad. It hasn't been for 20 years. All right. Okay, last question from MagePie3. Why a Blade Singer instead of traditional wizard school?
I think that has to do with Kayla's background, which I don't know how much can I talk about that.
However much you like.
So she comes from a family that has a long tradition of blade singing, and so the reason she got into it was very much because her family wanted her to.
The family business.
Yeah, she's not that into it. She's kind of squishy and indoorsy, really not fond of, running around and getting hit or being in danger. She tends to panic a lot in those situations. She's not really cut out to be a blade singer, but it made her parents happy until she finally got out of there.
True enough. And the sword in Kaylin's character art represents a sword that she has on her character sheet, which is a Armathor's fencing sword. So it's a sword that elven blade singers would have used thousands of years ago, or still today. And there are some still in circulation, such as the one that Kailath is carrying. And she found that in a dark tomb once upon a time. So yeah, she has a certain amount of that blade singer tradition that's kind of pushing into her character. And so we'll see if she pushes back or embraces it in the future. I think that's it for questions. So thanks, Emily.
Yeah, thank you for all your questions.
Thank you for voting for Emily, and we will be back in just a minute with everyone else as soon as she gets resituated. And we're back with the Westgate Irregulars. Now, we take you back to a dark tomb beneath the city of Pros several days ago, before the party left.
Little
Now,
unfinished business.
little unfinished business, little connective tissue with the previous story. So, once you had resolved the issue with the Lich and brokered a peace between the keeper of ancient elven secrets and the very capitalist orcs who had settled in that area, the Stank Spears, thank you, Yang Yang. Two things happened. One, they gave you the coffer, and once Sturge was able to open the lock on the coffer, you found that it was full of papers, deeds, ledgers, things of that note. Much like what you received in your delivery, except more of it.
Oh.
Not immediately valuable.
Treasure. I'm sorry.
I have to admit, I feel
How should we share these?
One man's rough draft bin is another man's gold chest, yeah.
At least we got all that junk the first guy was selling, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's right. You did get some stuff, which you dimly realize now that you've been in the crypt, were things from the crypt. Like
Failure
pried
doesn't
off
cut
of the walls, candlesticks, things like that.
And Artemisia has established a fine new trade deal for her shop to bring in the highest in orc fashions.
Oh,
No, I'm just,
Or bring Westgate fashions to the orcs.
Oh, there you go.
and they are willing to part with lots and lots of treasures that
Artemisia's
they
not.
stole from
I
the
was gonna say,
script.
are we post
No,
ring or because Cecilia is
was-
concerned about the ring?
Well, anyway, so the coffer thing happened,
Oh, yes.
and you were starting to look at the papers, and then Artemisia appeared. She just walked up while you were all standing there.
What happened to the ring? Am I still holding it?
Nope.
Nope. No more ring.
Artemisia.
Well, you see that Artemisia is wearing the ring.
Artemisia, what happened to you?
Nothing.
Where did you go? We were all freaking out. Mostly me, but all of us.
We thought the Lich had done something to you.
I needed some space, so I hung back. I was behind you.
You were behind us.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
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 But you will notice that, like, even after you remember that, the tears on her face, because she was apparently at some point ugly crying, they're still wet, which is kind of weird, because like she was hanging back, but you know, they just didn't dry very quickly, I guess.
Stong offers you one of the deeds from the chest to wipe your face.
She looks at it.
Here, let me. This is better. It's a hanky.
Oh, thank you.
I haven't used it much.
I was
And
gonna say, is it better?
everyone will notice that, like, as she's sort of like putting herself back together and like blotting and whatever, she is gonna like start like looking at her like skin and like pulling down her cuffs like to see if she can cover, and then like fussing with her neckline, and like then like looking at her hands again, like pulling her cuffs down again, and like
you?
she's just really just like rattled.
Agitated?
Yeah.
I would take Artemisia back over to that orcish beer tent and try to get her to drink a little one, because she is clearly having a moment.
Here, have a cup of fermented fish heads. This
It's
will make you
really,
feel
it's really better than it looks.
This is fish head ale, in fact.
I will persuasion check you if I
You have the
to.
chat name it. What would orc
I'm just
beer
saying.
with a nice fish?
Artemisia, I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay, well, here, I'll use the die that Stong gave me. That seems like it would do well. Your die has failed me.
Two things.
Or-
One, you feel better. Two, you feel very drunk.
Did it
But
fail
you're with
you?
Cecilia,
Or did it
so-
succeed? Maybe you
Okay.
needed that.
That was a big gulp you took, but it seemed like you might need it. That seemed like it upset you more than I was expecting.
So I saw something with the whatever.
Did Sturge show you something?
What exactly would Sturge show?
In
You know
the
what, man? We've known
I
each
don't know,
other for
you're
a
telling
while.
people you're like
Nothing surprises me.
you're
anymore.
making poems
in
about
what you were
people? I
holding.
think it's weird.
in
Are you with us?
Yes, I
Well, he's looking through the papers in the
Yeah.
coffer.
oh, right.
But that's not. I guess that is some ways away because they had to go over to
yeah,
the
they,
sand.
they
We
went to
could
the.
we could wander back.
Yeah, we
wander
wander
back.
back.
Artemisia. Can we tell them that you're a little tipsy? I don't know what kind of drunk Artemisia gets. Is she like super put together? She's not drunk at all. She's super fine. Or is she stumbly?
Oh, well, I think that, like, she's the kind of drunk that, like, suddenly everything she repressed has started to come out. So she's this kind of drunk.
You can get her to talk when she's had a few.
The hugger.
We should use this responsibly. I'm just saying.
What you were holding.
The papers.
Yes,
No.
with the nightmares in down in the tomb. The thing, the diamond,
jewel?
the
What's it
jewel.
called?
It's called a Kira, Kiira.
The Kira?
Yes, the key.
Right.
With the nightmares. Didn't you see a nightmare? You were trapped in it.
I did when you touched it.
Rude.
I was seeing visions of my undead grandam until then. She was very fair when she was young and alive. You know,
What did you see that undead grandma, with a weird response, is worse? What was the nightmare? What is wrong with this jewel?
here's okay. I did see something. I was enchanted by this elvish beauty, and all of a sudden, I felt Artemisia's hand on the gem, and I flashed to some hideous woman screeching at the top of her very shrill register and scratching at me with her fingernails and telling me what a worthless shrimp I was. Is this ringing any bells? I felt rather taken aback, and I was about to give her what for when you stopped touching it, and I was back to my vision of elvish beauty.
Oh, well, it was just he had a different nightmare than I had. You know how nightmares and you've forgotten something, or you're in school and
I think she wore a sigil.
Yes.
It was
Tararon.
Oh, is this Marcelia?
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay.
Who's Marcelia?
Can't come get you here.
And
if she does, I'll claw her face off.
That's your name.
Yes.
I saw.
My stepmother.
Oh, she's a very nice woman, I can tell.
No, she's the worst.
No. She in real life, she's not like the nightmare. She has never actually said such things out loud.
Out loud.
Did she strike you?
No, of course not. No, she
see
has
such a
been an excellent parent
check.
and role model.
Have some more of this beer.
So, several days later in Westgate, you are leaving the
Arena?
Quivering Thumb Arena victorious. Most of you are very pleased and happy. And yeah, we just had this great victory. Artemisia, still wearing her mask, is having. Well, how are you feeling?
Is there a hole like that I could hide in? And then maybe everybody will go home.
I know several holes that Song has played in to great applause. We can go. We don't have to be at home. Or you know what? We should go home. Have you told me that what you saw so far? Or am I still like, what's happening?
No.
I just assumed.
No, once they were pulled into the little area out of the arena, she's like, Marcelia!
Oh, Jesus.
Why is she here?
That's a wonderful question. I guess she wants to get got.
Well, I will just avoid her. That's it. It will be fine. I will avoid her.
That's probably the responsible answer.
Steven, you had a question?
Well, we're standing there. The victory just happened, and we saw.
Well, now you're in the
yes,
carriage.
but I'm going back in time for a second.
Your memory, yeah.
And Artemisia stiffened and then scampered away. And would I have seen what she was looking at and turned to
Make a perception check.
Okay. Oh, it's very good. More than 20.
Okay, there are a lot of people up in the stands, but yes, you saw this this noble woman from some distance and her retinue.
Do I recognize her?
Not really.
Not from the dream?
She seems vaguely familiar.
Okay.
I mean, she's fairly good looking.
Mm-hmm.
The woman you saw in the dream is not quite the same.
Interesting.
Similar, but much more harried and
older,
frenzied, and wild-eyed.
Oh, you mean in my dream she was?
In your dream she was.
Do I make this connection?
No.
Okay.
You're like, you think you have some inkling of what's going on.
Okay.
I'm gonna prime that time bomb for the next scene. So, the carriage, you're taking a carriage, I assume.
Yes.
Are you still taking Lord Gold's carriage?
Did he ever come back to get it?
No.
Your boyfriend leaves you his Ferrari. Just keep driving it.
Just keep driving it, man.
What did we decide the driver's name was? Hand? Hand is still driving the carriage for you.
Okay.
This is gonna blow up, but you know what? We have a bigger bomb with a shorter fuse here.
And where the hand knocks on the carriage, we're approaching the gate, my lady. Where would you wish to go? Yep.
Home.
Are we
Yep.
all in this carriage?
Yeah, it's big enough for all of you. It's actually slightly bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside. It's a
Are we all
very,
in the carriage?
very comfy carriage. Yeah, even Sarshan is there. Unless you purposely did not let him in the carriage.
This is your carriage. I think you get to decide if Sarshan.
Yeah, he can.
This is your carriage? My,
I-
you are much wealthier and more powerful than I had ever imagined.
I'm borrowing it.
You are borrowing it.
It's on loan.
You are clever as well then.
Borrowing.
Can I clarify something? So when I came and found you in Aglaron, did I assume that I encountered your stepmother?
Yes.
Does she encounter me, or did I just watch it? Do you think?
Artemisia would have attempted to introduce you two to
Okay.
each other. So.
And how did that go?
That went.
I have to assume it did not go very well. Knowing what I know about Marcelea, and knowing that Cecilia is fresh out of Rashomon at this point, and honing her city manners a bit, I don't think it probably.
I mean, Artemisia wouldn't have.
off well.
Artemisia wouldn't have let it like explode. She would have like stepped in and
Yeah.
been like, "Oh, and my sister, we have to go to our appointment. So it was delightful that you could meet each other, and now we're leaving right now."
So on the carriage ride back, Sarshan is looking from one of you to the other. And he goes, but he's waiting.
Artemisia, do you tell your crush about your boyfriend or your guy on the side?
No.
Okay.
Why would I do
Okay.
that?
The carriage gets back to Briar House.
It's a
While,
wise
while we're
decision.
riding, Rogar will lay hands on Sarshan to heal
He
him.
says, oh, no, thank you.
Oh, all right.
I am perfectly
like.
well.
I have a bum.
I've healed myself.
I'm just saying.
Oh, sorry. Yes, of course. Let me just.
So I think during the course
Guys
of the
are gonna
ride,
replace me with Sarshan. I don't know what's happening.
Sarshan looks a little bit like, what are you doing laying hands on my emissary? She's mine to protect. But he doesn't
don't
say
quite
any of
touch
that
it.
because he
Probably
knows that
wise.
Cecilia would not like it.
My hand hovers just above her. There's a white glow that surrounds her.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Think Sharidlar.
Thank you, Sharindlar.
Sarshan growls slightly. Yes, Yang Yang?
so over the course of the whole ride, like Mirabelle's just like staring at Artemisia, and Stong leans over and tells her, "I think you're her new hero. She really admired the way you murdered those things."
Auntie Artie zap zap zap.
Oh, you can call me Mia if you like, Mirabelle.
Whoa.
Auntie Mia.
Mia murder.
No.
Mia murder.
Zap.
Mia zap zap murder.
It was an equal battle. It was fair, Mirabelle. It wasn't murder. Murder is bad.
Yes.
So Sarshan with his dead wolf head mask leans toward Mirabelle and he says, Sarshan slay. And she goes, Sarshi slay. And he goes, ha ha.
Just let them play with each other. They'll tire each other out.
Yeah, right.
Kindred spirits. though.
Just burn off some of that excess energy.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
great parenting. Murder is bad. I'm glad that you're hitting the basics.
So the carriage gets back to Briar House. Hand knocks on the door and says, yep, here we are. Yep,
Thank you.
yep.
Hold up. I'm going to look outside and see if there is another carriage here and if Marcellia has beaten us.
There is not
Ooh.
another carriage here.
All right, let's go.
Essentially.
So,
Doorman, prepare for a siege.
so you're heading toward the door, and the door opens, and there is Varys standing there, well appointed in his plain but tastefully tailored clothes. And he says, "Ah, you have returned, mistresses.
Yes.
What's up, Ferris?
Would you like to see your mail now?"
Is there something of urgency?
He hauls out this sack of letters from behind the door.
Did you start some sort of trade by mail company for Silver Dawn?
He says, "Most of these are for you, Mistress Cecilia."
What?
It's Artemisia's on.
He says, "Shall I dictate them to you while you have tea in the
Yes, please.
common
I
room?"
don't want everybody reading my mail.
Very well then.
We won't.
He starts sorting them.
We won't listen.
And he's placing them in one hand until that stack gets unruly. And then he puts those back in the sack and he roots around and he pulls out 2 envelopes and he hands them to Artemisia.
Well, she's going to pull them open neatly.
I believe these might be bills. And he passes them to Setzilia. I only say so for one of the messengers who brought one of those missives said, tell her that if she does not pay what she owes, there shall be trouble, is what I heard him say. I gave him a stout clout with my truncheon,
Thank you.
and then he left.
You got my back.
Well done, Varys.
Now there
Yes.
are 2 women with debt in this household.
So Kailath
I'm pretty sure at least one of these is about somebody jumping on tables and breaking them.
I look at Mirabelle.
Mirabelle goes,
So Kailath heard the word bill and she just disappears.
disappeared.
Let's not do this.
Single feathers.
So, Artemisia, would you like to read those
Yes,
2 letters?
but, at least see who they're from, skim them. She's not going to read it.
One of them is a letter stamped with the Eye of Justice sigil, and one of them is a flowery and very neat letter with a wax seal from your stepmother.
That one can just go in the fireplace.
But
Farah says, I believe this arrived the day you departed for Pros.
if she's here because she wants something, then I need to know what she wants, unless it's what she always wants. But here, hold this. She'll give you the Eye of Justice one. Don't open it.
I'm gonna try and peek just a little bit.
Hold
And
it up
then
to the light.
She's gonna open up the one from her stepmother.
The Eye of Justice one isn't sealed. It just has that sigil on it.
Cool, I'm gonna crack it just a little bit
Okay.
when she's reading. Just
Okay.
a tiny bit. See if it's something I should throw in the fireplace.
So you opened up the one from your mother?
Yeah.
Okay, it announced, didn't ask or anything, that she is coming to call upon you on such and such a day, which happens to be today.
Oh no, we're not home that day.
Make ready your lodgings within the city. It's addressed to Artemisia Tararan, currently of Westgate. You can see the disdain written in the word currently.
You
Yeah.
know. Oh, sorry.
And it basically is just telling you, yes, I'm coming to visit. Make ready your house and your servants for my retinue. We shall be discussing matters of great import regarding your homeland and your responsibilities and duties thereby associated.
Are we watching her cringe and
Oh,
turn
she's
colors?
cringe.
Getting into a smaller and smaller space.
Were you worse injured in the arena than you indicated? You
Sarson
don't look
says,
well.
are you injured?
No.
I thought it was merely your clothes that were damaged.
Can I just snatch that letter and read
She
it?
suffered fashion damage.
Oh.
With,
I don't know. She looks very fashionable. Do you think if I tore my clothes slightly?
I
I mean, beyond what's already happened to them. He's wearing a breastplate of armor, actually.
He does bleed, right?
Yeah, but he does.
Making sure.
I have
Blade, said Sturge. Sartion's like,
need
well,
of
yes.
the parlor, and I must ready the servants. And if you could simply just allow me, if you could stay in the rest of the house or upstairs, and for the rest of the day, I'm sorry, I must deal with this. But
You don't have to deal with this. We could just, not be here.
no.
Sartion says, is there a threat to you, my lady?
Can you show
I see
this?
there's a threat to you. He pulls out his sword, and he says, I shall stand guard over you and your sister both.
Gonna be a better sister. She wants to deal with this herself, so we should probably go in the other room.
Will you tell us what's
But the
happening?
second that this gets hairy, we're showing up.
Aye, we've got your back.
It's not that kind of danger. I appreciate all of your concern. It will be fine. So just go and leave me to deal with it. Thank you.
As Artemisia says this, quick flashback to the orc encampment where he and Cecilia shared this look while Artemisia was like crumpled up drunk against her, and then Stong goes over and buys more of the brew. Flash forward to this,
We
present.
also remember part of our reward was a barrel of that stuff.
True, yeah. So he like pulls out this little flagon and then like makes eye contact with Cecilia. It's like,
I would pull a song aside and be like, what if we put it in the tea?
and he just hands it to you and just like,
If she's drunk, if her stepmother is drunk, she'll fall asleep. She won't keep talking and saying nasty things. Problem solved.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed to relax her last time.
Works for so many family visits, I think. For a lot of people.
All right, so
Listen, sometimes you have to drug your family just so you can get away from them. Everybody does it.
tell me what the configuration is, what your plan is for receiving this visit.
Well, I don't know what everybody else is doing, and certainly feel free to be like listening at keyholes. But I say out of character. In character, Artemisia would stab you. However,
Through the keyhole. Sturge, again.
I will be in the basement, of course, but if you would need any sort of, if you would like me to come up and offer any sort of counseling on healthy living and healthy love and positive relationships, I am, of course, here to assist.
Cecilia is going to encourage that.
my
She's not going to ask.
stepmother might like you. I'm not
Stepmother,
sure.
Sarshan says.
Can you explain?
What is a
what's happening?
stepmother, exactly?
Her stepmother is coming to visit. Her stepmother is a terrible person who doesn't like Artemisia enough.
Sounds like someone
Your
who steps
mother-
on your feelings and your ambitions.
It sounds like your mother runs great distances.
Assertion.
Is this an evil stepmother?
No.
An
I've heard
evil
of these.
stepmother.
Aye.
She did not get along with
runs
Cecilia.
vast
That
evil
is correct.
distances.
She's
But
not nice to Artemisia, and I don't like that about people.
my stepmother sets great store by manners.
I saw her, didn't I, in that vision? She did not look particularly.
That it was
fair.
a nightmare version of her. She does not say such things.
Insight
That
check.
would be very ill-mannered.
20.
Yeah, it
Whoa.
seems she's telling you the
Kayla's
truth.
still hiding in the...
She did experience
Kayla's probably
roughly the same vision that you did, and can assure you that it was a nightmare, not exactly accurate,
Okay.
by her perspective. Let's make that clear.
So Artemisia is going to focus on the parlor, and she's going to get no, not Bo. Bo, stay in the kitchen. Charity has good manners.
Charity perks up. Yes,
Charity will serve the tea.
of course.
Don't speak to her, but
Oh no. No.
I-
No.
Okay,
I
good.
would never.
and Varys will show her in,
Of course.
and Artemisia will do any prestidigitation for dust in the parlor, and everybody stay out of the parlor, and it will be fine. It will be fine. She will sit down in the parlor with tea and wait for the appointed hour.
So Stong would like to, well, he thinks he's helping her because I think parents are impressed when their children earn a healthy amount of income. So he pulls the bag of arena earnings out. Actually, how long do we have until she arrives? What'd she say? Did she say a time?
She just said today.
Okay.
Do everything you need to do because we're on borrowed time.
Yeah. So he will stuff it with extra copper from his own purse to make it look slightly bigger, and then he will just
pillow
place
in
it
the
on
bottom.
the. Yeah, put a pillow on the bottom. Yeah, okay.
Fill it out.
Yeah, that's right. And then he'll just like put it on the table and just say your earnings from today's arena fight, but don't let her look at the bottom. Tell her it's all gold.
Oh,
The top layer is gold.
Varys gives Artemisia a look like, I'll handle that.
thank you, Stong.
You're welcome.
Do you have much experience with mother issues?
I have a mother, yes.
Well,
Such a good answer to that question.
Difficult like Artemisia's mother seems to have been.
Well,
Stepmother.
Stepmother.
Well, of course,
seems to have
she's
been.
not there. Sorry.
We're not going to necessarily say wonderful things about our mother, but I have to feel like she's better than Marcelia, I'm just saying.
I have never met this Marcelian, so I don't know what she's like. But she can't be that bad, right?
I can't wait to meet her.
So
Is
in
she
the
not-
meantime,
is she
Stone
not
goes, would your mother be impressed if you had a baby out of wedlock?
Stepmother.
Would your stepmother be impressed if you had a baby out of wedlock?
Mirabelle says, wedlock.
I mean, I could stay nearby and you could borrow Mirabelle.
Well, you could.
Okay. Sorry, Mirabelle. She doesn't like your idea.
Mirabelle points at Artemisia. Wedlock.
Yes, I'm a bastard too.
Wedlock?
Oh.
You know what?
She points at
Who
Cecilia.
here is it?
Wedlock?
You know what? Mothers or stepmothers are never going to be satisfied no matter how well you're doing. So just don't even try.
Oh.
Mirabelle points
Bonding
at
right now.
Mirabelle points at Kailath and
Truth.
says, wedlock.
Oh.
Excuse me?
I hand you another flask of the brew from the orcs. Sorry. You seem like you need
Make a
this too.
Constitution saving throw
She just licked it.
with advantage.
Okay.
Look, I'll go put on one of the many dresses you stuck in my closet in the right order, and I'll just be here. I won't even say
Kayla is
anything.
very
I'll
drunk.
Just be
That's
here
her
for
high
backup.
roll.
That's fine, right?
Can you not say anything? Like, I wouldn't ask you to be there when it would be too difficult.
I can
not to.
totally not say anything, I'm sure. Okay, that's a fair point. That might be really hard not to say anything.
So I wouldn't do that to you.
I'll put the nice dress on and hide in the kitchen. If she turns out to be terrible, you give a signal. What's a good code word that says come in here and tell my stepmother how terrible she is?
Hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus. Say hippopotamus, and I'll swoop in and I'll help.
I will call for Bo, perhaps. Right. That can be a signal.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying Bo
No,
can
no,
help
I'm
and
not.
I can't help.
I
And
don't.
was like,
Don't let Bo come in. He's not polished enough to impress my stepmother.
The door opens and Bo appears. I heard my name.
Bo, sweetie, go clean the silver.
I will. Heads off to clean the silver.
I am gonna go pick out the best, fanciest dress that Artemisia has hung in my closet.
If you really okay, so
Probably I
so
will put it
apparently
on
so apparently
correctly.
Kailath just took one lick of the drink and now she's tipsy.
Yep.
So she can say like, wait, if you really want to impress your stepmother, how about I open the door for her? I'll just be your like door person.
Would that
Is that
be
a
all right
thing,
with you?
Sarshanes? Door people?
Yes.
Do they live indoors?
Yes.
Out of doors? Above doors?
They open doors.
They open doors.
There are step people. There are
I
door
could be your
people,
door person.
Probably window people.
I know how to open doors.
Thank you for that offer. It is not necessary. Kailath is going to be my door person. If it's all right, I wouldn't ask you to do something that makes you uncomfortable.
Oh sure, I'll do it.
Well, she did just
be
offer,
great.
yes.
Is there a full-length mirror in this
I'll do it.
room?
Oh, of course.
Sturge has been standing in front of it, and he's slowly, he's changing costume. He's doing French maid outfit. No,
is gonna
then he
go
shakes
so
his head,
bad.
and then he goes, Porter.
I think you mean Tetherian maid outfit.
Right, right.
Okay.
Are you doing this with
What's
a
a
disguise
French?
self?
Yeah, he's got his little.
We're just going
scarf
with
of
the theory.
disguise, and he's trying. No, Gardner.
Gardener.
Gardner.
You could
Wow.
just be trimming the rose bushes outside.
What are you doing?
Well, I thought I'd get out of the house. I don't think you want me here, but I
Oh.
can be outside, and
So
I can.
there's comes a knock at the door while you're speaking. I was waiting until it was
French maid.
time. And Varys opens the door, and it is hand, and he said, "Yep, carriage approaching, my lady."
I'm gonna come down now while there's a second and be like, someone help me get these stays. Because I can't reach them.
Sarshan heads over to help you.
Don't be weird about it, Sergeant.
I lean
Why
over,
why would anything about this be weird?
Yep, that's exactly the attitude.
I lean over towards Artemisia, and Stong says, Okay, before I leave, do you want any of your abilities enhanced? Do you want to be smarter? Would your mom like it if you're more charismatic? Does she like it if you're, or does stepmom like it if you're like buffer? If you're ripped? What would she be impressed by?
Thank you. It's too late. Go. Everybody, go out, go.
Sturdy's
Okay.
going to the garden.
Stong runs to the kitchen.
Kailath is gonna go stand by the door. Wait.
Rogar,
Well, I'll go down in the basement. Just
go
to
into the
close
basement.
the eye.
You open the door.
Roomba.
Roomba's looking at Roomba's like there on the stoop, and it kind of like leans up as though to regard you.
No.
Just waiting there like a puppy.
Come on. I turn
Okay.
around the other way.
Roomba starts slowly moving. It has a speed of 1, so it moves a 5-foot square in 5 rounds, right?
I usher it back down the
Okay.
stairs a little and come
Hunt
on,
it.
you wee lad. Oh yeah.
And
Pick it up.
its
punted.
attack modifier is low enough that it basically can't hit Rogar, so he can hold it safely. Yeah. Okay. So it takes a long time for this noble woman and her retinue to pile out of the carriage and into the house. First, her servants arrive. Varys greets them with a nod. Kailath opens the door for them.
Is it servants first?
It's servants first, yes.
All right. Kailath is going to be watching, and then she's going to open the door right before the first knock happens.
Okay.
You were anticipated.
The
Nice.
servant just walks through, completely not looking at you. And they start going around the house, looking around.
Sturge is watching for and listening for servant chatter at the back of the retinue.
Make a perception check.
About 10. No. Oh, 14. I forgot.
You don't hear anything in particular. There's quiet conversing about which valise goes first into the house. And everything seems to be very ritualized and specific. The servants move around, they're inspecting the house, they start looking under all the paintings and at the candlesticks and just investigating every single bare inch of the house.
I think it's garbage that she gets to have a bunch of people with her and Artemisia doesn't.
Sarshan says, why doesn't she have a bunch of people with her?
Because Marcelia is the worst.
Is this your room?
No, it's a kitchen. This is the foods room.
You don't sleep in here.
No, where would you sleep in here?
On that table.
Why would you
Or
sleep
under
on
that table.
Stong stands there and he's really uncomfortable by their like, I don't know if this flirtation or what, but he's
So
like,
is,
I'm also here.
Sarshan says, you'd sleep under that table, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
see?
not a measure of whether some place is a reasonable place to sleep.
Yeah.
I see. The doors open and a servant steps in. One in Aglarondian livery that you recognize as belonging to Lady Marcelea.
I'm gonna get a real snooty face on. Like, can we help you?
Are you Lady Tararon's staff?
No.
Sarshan says, in a way.
Sarshan?
Stong just says yes.
I am her chosen sword, in fact.
What does
Sorry,
that?
when did that happen?
What does
I
that
have a
mean?
sword. He asked if I was a staff. That's a silly question. The servant ignores you and goes about looking around the kitchen,
As
checking
the,
each of the pots,
as the servant
looking in the larder.
as the servant inspects the pots in the larder, I inspect the servant. How tidy is this servant?
Very tidy.
Is there any dust on this person?
A little bit, because they have been traveling for some time.
I
You
note
don't
it.
think that they've been in the city more than today.
I note any dust and imperfections, and I'm ready to, and I share it with Cecilia. Look at this imperfect servant.
The servant approaches you again and says, "Are you armed hooligans?"
Get out of here!
You, orc.
No, no! You don't get to talk to him like that. Get out of here.
Make an intimidation check.
Boy, I hope I make this impression.
She's probably this
That table's
close
been
to
rolling
an
good.
actual
This
witch
one-
bolt.
12.
12.
I think she should have advantage for actually meaning it.
Fair.
He looks you in the eye and he goes, huh, and then he walks away. And Sarshan says, that was pretty effective. Well done. Okay, so like nearly an hour later,
Jeez.
when all the servants have set out cushions and replacement furniture,
Wait, what?
Lady
I told you
Marcelea
she's
comes
the
in.
worst.
Lady Marcelea sweeps in.
Wait a second. Did we all just stand by and let them refurnish the house?
I think every time we stuck our heads out, Artemisia was like, "Am I right?"
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we're waiting for Artemisia to indicate she wants our presence.
Well, they put out her special chair for her to drape herself in.
What does her special chair look like?
It's kind of a U-shaped divan seating thing,
Throne-ish kind of
Fainting
divan.
lounge?
like a fainting couch, yes, except U-shaped.
So she can just melt into
She
it.
can faint
Yeah,
either
so
way.
she can sit and put her legs up over one side and her arm up over the other side. You've seen her in that posture many, many times. And you recognize that chair, and it has certain memories associated with it that you were hoping you were past. Anyway, she sweeps in, making a grand spectacle of it. She is the first person to look at Kailath. All the other servants have completely ignored Kailath.
Does she look like she's half tiger, half mom?
Okay, as the kitchen door is cracked open and your heads are stacked out looking at what's going on, it's Cecilia and then Sergeant, and then way above that is Stong. You go ahead and make an insight check, Stong,
Uh-oh.
because you asked me that question.
It's 21.
She seems very put together, and you get the sense that she is a magic user of some kind. You can't really detect magic exactly, although I think you have
I do.
magical sight. Yeah, you can tell that her raiments are magic. She's wearing a magic necklace, and 2 of her rings are magical.
Show off.
I glance at Mirabelle. What does she look like?
Mirabelle
What's her
looks,
reaction to
Mirabelle
this woman?
looks like Mirabelle. What is her reaction to this woman? She's watching that woman like wide-eyed.
Ooh.
Well, it's the most shiny thing she's seen for a while since her other dad left Westgate. Okay.
Maybe her mom was a really powerful wizard, or stepmom. Stepmom was a really powerful wizard.
So at this point, Kailath is starting to regret this. She's like, this might have been a bad idea. But she's gonna keep up the charade as best as she can, and she's gonna just bow slightly and be like, my lady, it's Taron, would it be?
Lady Tararon, yes.
My lady Taron, welcome to my lady Taron's home.
She says, yes. Are you Varys, perhaps?
No, I am Kailath. I am her.
Kailath. Ah, yes. The untrustworthy one who is behind inner rent. It's so nice to meet you, dear.
How does she know?
Could I? It's so nice to meet you too.
Are you working off your debt? Perhaps.
Yes.
Your hands look so calloused, as though you have been working. She lifts up your hands. Ah, what a shame. Such lovely skin you have. And those wings. Oh, it could be so much better, so much more fashionable if you just... Never mind. I'm sure Artemisia has told you all of this. She tries, you know. So she heads into the living room.
Cecilia's gonna look up her mouth.
Stone is just gonna nod back. Says,
Sarshan
yeah.
is watching this all fascinated, like,
Kailath is just gonna slink back upstairs.
Okay.
Oh, your rent is forgiven.
You absorb some of the hate. Okay. So Marcelea drapes herself in her chair. Daughter, she says,
Stepmother.
slightly unhappily.
What a surprise. I apologize for that my home is not as put together as perhaps I might have wished. You see, I was traveling. I have just completed...
Yes, your apology is accepted. Your very appropriate apology is accepted. Why were you traveling?
There was an opportunity to help a friend and to earn some coin in the bargain.
Earn some coin. You are working for a living. I am so very displeased to hear that. Particularly since I did warn you that this tragedy might happen.
You are correct, but you may recall, my father's trading enterprises when you married him.
Yes, that is indeed the reason that I am here in the city. Well, one of two reasons. I am here to oversee a potential expansion of your father's investments into the city of Westgate.
Oh, I wish that he had told me of this, and I would be...
Did you not receive our letter?
Just now about your visit. You see, I was traveling for.
Oh, I can't imagine why that would have been delayed so long. Huh.
Okay, did you hear her call for Bo? I feel like I heard her call for Bo.
Sarshan says she did not call for Bo.
Shut up.
I agree with you, Cecilia.
Wait, does this mean we can burst in?
She called for Bo.
She
not
might have
us.
card for
No,
Bo.
when she calls for Bo, that's the cue. That's the cue.
Oh,
That's the cue.
The cue. Oh, this might be an awkward time. But
So,
okay. Follow
Marcelea,
your lead.
Marcelea explains to you very dry stuff about this trading empire expanding into Westgate, and she eventually starts getting around to a point about why she's here specifically. And it is at that moment that Stong bursts in.
Oh.
Yes?
Wait, so while that's happening,
Okay.
while that's
Back
happening,
up. Yes.
can I use my bardic knowledge to try to drum up any sort of like special insight into business or economy?
Make a check.
Or okay. What kind of check?
Or money stuff things?
Intelligence check?
Yeah,
history?
intelligence check.
Please be good. Oh, okay. 19.
With your 19 check, you have determined that she seems to be just throwing a lot of terms around, and maybe this is a pretense.
So basically, I want to cast a message cantrip and whisper to Artemisia that your mother is speaking a lot of gibberish about business. I'm a business orc, so I know.
Stank spear.
I have learned from the stank spears.
But if you wish to impress her, here is this stock tip or business tip you can use.
How many words was that?
Purple
It was message.
horseshoe.
It was message,
Oh,
not
message, I'm so
sending.
sorry.
Yeah.
So it's just like the one sentence. Your mother is just telling you a great deal of gibberish
Oh,
about
I burn all the
business.
copper wire to tell her all that stuff.
And you keep casting the spell,
Yeah.
and your copper wire just
Yeah.
until it's all gone.
Oh no.
Sarshan says, "Wow, that was fantastic. You have to teach me that trick. Once my lady finishes teaching me about how to use magic." And he was definitely pointing at Cecilia.
Ah. Yeah, so now you have like this business
can
knowledge
learn.
if
Okay.
you want to.
Well, Artemisia is going to go very still while like the message is coming in, but like she was very still before. So no difference for her stepmother to notice.
"Are you all right, dear?" Marcelea says.
Certainly.
Is this how you typically conduct business? With your friend feeding you information?
Whoa. I message, she's good. I don't have any more copper wires, so I just whisper it. You told me I had no more copper wire.
I have decided that Rhiannon and I were talking about this, and I have decided that Marcelea's school of focus as a wizard is divination.
That That sounds like a hard mom to have. Sorry.
Yes.
Or stepmom.
Hence why she knew a great deal about Briarhouse, and she knows what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Her
She
focus-
may or may not be reading your thoughts right now.
It's like you
hard
get
to say.
grounded before you commit the
Are
crime.
we aware of that? That she's
Divination?
that she
Yeah.
might be reading our thoughts.
We know her
specifically.
focus is divination.
Based on what she just said, maybe.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it seems pretty clear.
I'm gonna think some things.
Nice.
Oh, your sister is here, is she?
Yes, she lives here.
And what a memorable encounter that was.
She'll never forget it.
She'll never let me. She just murmurs under her breath. Totally separate conversation.
My friends are very loyal, which I believe is a very important quality in one's friends. They are simply trying to aid me. However,
Yes, loyalty, such an important quality. I'm glad you have learned that over your sojourn away from your proper duties. Speaking of loyalty, I'm so glad you brought up that topic. I have come to, well, bring you home with me.
I told you, and my father agreed, you will recall, that
You agreed at the time, yes.
and if he wishes to expand into Westgate, I can aid him. Here, staying here.
Oh, you think you can you?
Yes.
And what evidence do you have that you are able to do such a thing?
There's a big pile of gold on the table.
Varus cleared that away, actually, as soon as Stong's back was turned.
Studying on my own, I have greatly improved my command of magic. Would you care for a demonstration? Lightning bolt. Out of those spell slots.
You had a rest in the way, Dan. You need a long rest. Damn.
You wish to demonstrate your blunt object evocation for me, do you? I didn't particularly like that trick when you were a child, and I don't particularly like it now, but if you must demonstrate it.
Demonstrate it in her face.
Sarshan says, oh, I hope she
I'm
does.
so ready for Artesia to
initiative.
ask for Bo. I'm trying to
Rogar's
be
just
respectful of
itching
her
to-
boundaries.
Yeah.
It is really hard and unpleasant.
Well, she has a slot for hold person. So she's going to cast hold person on her stepmother.
Okay.
Please succeed.
I know, right? This is gonna go horribly right or horribly wrong.
Wisdom saving throw.
Ooh. All right, hold on.
I feel like if this doesn't succeed, I don't know that I can keep respecting your boundary.
Well, if this doesn't succeed, then Artemisia is going to call for both.
Good. I'm glad we're on the same page. This is like a
just-
conversation that we're having with each other in the
What's the
moment.
DC? You said it was
16.
16.
That's pretty good. Very good.
Well, she does indeed resist your magic.
I peeked.
Says-
It was legit.
Did you need to
I'm
die?
sorry. Was something meant to happen? She brushes the magic away. You almost got her, actually. Almost.
But no,
Like a
in
single trickle of
Artemisia's
sweat
mind,
comes down
like,
her.
in Artemisia's mind, like almost is it's not good enough, man. She has failed.
Marcelea stands up. She says, enough of this. I am departing for Aglaron on the morrow, and you shall be accompanying me. You can leave your sister here in charge of whatever debts you've accumulated in the city. I'm sure she can manage it to double them, no doubt. And your loyal
I
friend.
know, Rogar's like,
Are we gonna fight her mom? Is that stepmom? Is that the
I mean, I'm
plan?
planning on yelling at her mostly.
Oh,
but a healthy relationship is built on
Avengers
trust.
assemble to yell loudly.
Respect.
Okay, the door bangs open. And Marcelea looks up. Oh, good.
I'm going to walk over
The
to
loud
Artemisia.
one.
I'm going to make eye contact with Marcelea, but I'm going to say, Artemisia, you know this is your house, and You get to decide who gets to be in this house, and if you don't want someone in your house, there are lots of people who will help them leave.
Sarshan
your
is standing.
friends.
Sarshan is standing right next to
justice.
Celia. Yeah. Sarshan, standing right next to Celia, says, "Yes, indeed, everything she just said."
Sturge is
Without breaking
coming
your
in
neck.
the door, and
Okay.
in his own, he's not going to bother with a disguise.
Oh, he's
Just gonna stand
dropping the gardener guys.
Yeah.
Is he wearing the feather cloak that that Artemisia has made for him by now? Excellent. So this Birdman comes in.
He's just going to stand there silently.
Rogar, you can hear some commotion.
Yeah, I've come up. I mean, I was coming up.
Did you bring Roomba with you?
I just.
Did you leave the door open?
Probably
Uh-huh.
because I was not, I'm
We're chaos.
upset.
I'm just
and,
gonna roll a die. Oh, I see. Okay.
And
He didn't step on Roomba, did he?
if I did, he'd just squish into
That's
two
fair.
pieces or
That's
something.
fair.
Yeah, he's got to be blasted by magic missiles.
I don't know how pointy Rogar's shoes are. I've never asked.
Fair enough. All right, you all rush into the living room.
Yes. And Artemisia is just frozen. Clearly in her head, she's doing the thing in her head where she's like, what you say is no, I will never leave. What you say is no, get out of my house. And then you open your mouth and what comes out is nothing. So right now she's in the nothing is happening despite the plans in her head. Because she can't know.
This is also my house,
Owl's inspiration.
and I think you should go. Should
I-
Stong show you where the door is?
This is her life and her life to live.
If my daughter directs me to leave,
Stepdaughter.
and Marcelea gives you a look that is
Withering.
so baneful, she can't cast power look kill.
Oh,
Cecilia is aiming
Wow.
for being just the amount annoying that Marcelea is like, I really wish it would make sense to blast her, but the paper would be a nightmare.
That's exactly what happened.
Wait, she blasted me? Or I
No,
was up going,
no, that's exactly
Shoot,
what she's
I
thinking.
miscalculated.
You're not even reading her thoughts, and that's exactly what she's thinking.
See, I know people.
and Sarshan just casually takes down his sword from his shoulder, and he's like, yes. And Marcelea says, fine, if you brutes wish to be so rude as to hurl me out of my stepdaughter's house, I shall simply have to come back anon. As I said, I shall be departing for Aglaron on the morrow,
You could go tonight. Nobody would mind.
and I shall be taking what is rightfully mine with me.
Do you
You can take that ugly dress anywhere you want.
Sarshan says, I love this. This is good. He's bouncing back from foot to foot.
Says, Dog, will you help Lady Tararon find the door?
I'd love to. So he steps up to her. I'm gonna try to intimidate her. See if it works.
Okay.
14. That's, higher than average.
Are you still holding Mirabelle?
I am. And
Very
she looks very
intimidating.
impressed.
Yeah.
I say, you may have impressed my daughter, but you don't impress me. And does she look intimidated?
No. This woman looks to be made of steel. And she looks back up at you and she says, good.
After a long moment, I'm like, would you please leave?
She gives you a wintry smile and then walks out. And her servants immediately claim all the furniture and such that they put into the house and just fold it up and carry it out with them.
What is the nearest non-breakable object near me,
Other than Sargent?
other than Sarshan? Something I grab with one hand. Book.
Yeah, there's a
glass
book.
cup. I grab
I mean,
a book and
Artemisia
I throw
keeps
it at the door.
Artemisia keeps a tasteful library in this study.
This very tasteful book hits the door as it closes.
Kailath is gonna come over with a flask.
Is this the fish head stuff?
Yeah, it's the fish head stuff.
She can't make you go anywhere.
Oh.
To do a constitution.
Yes.
You need to fail. You need to fail.
Oh, no. That's a good one.
No, you're feeling pretty steady. Like the
Natural 20.
there's a deep and powerful emotion building in you, and it has been building in you this whole time.
I got a new idea.
And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
Do we want her to succeed?
Yes.
12.
Oh, all right.
We're gonna go find
Did you
her.
give her the owl's?
We're gonna
Well,
go set her carriage on fire.
She did not ask for it. So.
So suddenly your hand starts to hurt, and the world kind of shivers around you a little bit, and then there's you stare and you realize that you're wearing this ring, which doesn't really fit with your normal attire, and you're not sure where that came from. It's a golden ring, is what it looks like, kind of tarnished old gold, but gold. And you are focusing on it, and it seems to be growing closer and closer and closer to your face. And then there's a knock at the door.
If she's back, I can't.
We
I
don't
can't.
have to open the door. That's not a rule.
Sarshan says, I shall get the door.
Sarshan.
He goes and gets the door, and then he comes back, and the pressure suddenly goes away, evaporates. And you were standing there, and you feel relieved, actually. And then Sarshan comes back in, and he says, well, there is a very handsome elf outside. And Lilithan appears next to Sarshan.
Literally did not have to open the door.
Sarshan looks a little like a little troubled himself. And Lilithan says, my dear, are you all right? And he crosses the room to you and takes your hand in his hand. And you forget all about that ring.
What ring?
What ring?
Exactly.
It has been a very trying day. Would you consent to perhaps going out to the fest hall or someplace that I may forget for a little while?
Of course. Whatever you require. Would you like to bring your sister along? She looks like she needs to forget as well. No pity. Come along then. And he whisks Artemisia out.
Sorry, I'll deal with this later.
Go blow off some steam.
The door shuts behind them.
Stong
Good
leads
day
over.
to dump someone.
Stong leads over to Mirabelle and he says, "Don't do romance like that in the future."
Mirabelle goes, uh-huh. Sarshan looks to Cecilia puzzled. He's like, what just happened?
She was looking for a bad decision and she found it. And it felt great.
That's the guy she's seeing.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
I saw him as well. You saw him as well.
Oh my God, Sarshan. Who taught you common?
A very, very lovely Dambrathan boy taught me common.
Okay.
Over some time that we spent together.
That was a rhetorical question.
Oh, sorry.
But in the meantime,
What is a rhetorical question? We never got to that point. He was a dock worker.
It means
Very
you
good
don't-
with his hands.
it means you don't have to answer it.
Interesting. What's the point of a question you don't have to answer?
Okay, anyway.
Was that a question she didn't have to answer?
We're just gonna turn to the wall and pound his head on it.
Which is
Okay.
a trick
What
with
should
his
we do?
nose. Like he has to like
He
really.
has to really bend down. To
So,
I think we should go send a message to Marcelea so she doesn't come back here.
Well,
Like a
the good news-
message or like a message?
More the first one, thinking like maybe setting her carriage on fire. Kailath, are you with me here?
I'd
Sorry.
rather not.
Sarshan says,
Anything
that
to do
woman
with-
was terrible.
She's the worst.
She knows
I
everything.
wish to learn from her.
Oh,
Don't say that around Artemisia.
The good
no,
news.
she's like I said, she doesn't appreciate Artemisia. She's really mean to her, and she wants her to stay home and do boring things.
She clearly does not understand love.
Yeah.
Mistress Cecilia, you defied
Call me
her.
that. I really don't like it.
Cecilia, Well, I shall accept your instruction of proper intimacy between us. Said Celia, you defied her. Can you teach me how to do that?
Yes, probably.
Fantastic.
Maybe.
Oh, I almost forgot. I am also in the city to learn magic at your feet. And he kneels before you.
Oh my god, guys.
Everyone else is like, we're still here.
Okay, so it's gonna go back to the Marcelea problem.
The good news is she's with Lilton. If she spends the night with Lilton, there's no way she's going to extract Artemisia from his hands.
Yeah, I feel. Suddenly I am very interested in the idea of pitting Marcelea and Lilton against each other in the hopes that one destroys the other because, hey, win either way. But if she goes and busts in on Lilton, Artemisia is going to be so much more embarrassed. And also, Artemisia is going to feel obligated to come back here.
There's no way they can bust in on Lilton.
Did you see how much magic that woman was leaking?
And you're talking about Lilton.
With the potentially 6 fingers.
You don't need to tell everybody about that.
What 6 fingers?
6 fingers?
Oh, we don't know what's going on, and I wasn't going to tell anybody because I don't want.
I have 10 fingers, Sarshan says.
Yeah, I mean, technically everyone has 6 fingers. So
Aye.
he has
Yeah.
5
I
on one
once
hand
met an
and
individual who
1 on the
only
other.
had 5 fingers.
This
Because I had
Mark.
just chopped his hand off.
Mark?
Remember when the demon grabbed me when we were in that place? I really don't remember the name. What's the name of the town we were in?
Lork.
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 I was like, lost.
L-L-O-R-K. Lork.
Ilora told me that Lilton was responsible, and so we were trying to figure out what that means. We can't tell Artemisia, because if we tell Artemisia and it's nothing, it's just Ilora messing with me, then she's going to be so angry. So we just have to figure out what's going on. That's all. And since we don't know if he controls demons, Kailath and I found a picture of a weird antler.
Controls
called?
demons or is a demon?
I mean, he doesn't have 6 fingers.
Well, that magic is easy to fix that problem. You could
I
just...
feel like Artemisia would have noticed by now, but I have to be honest. I don't know anything about doing stuff with demons. Stuff.
Is there a section in the Happy Earthquakes book about demon loving?
Doing stuff with demons.
Not in the copy I had. But,
Your partner has 6 fingers.
Which is even a better reason to tell Marcelea to go find her there, actually. I'm warming to this plan.
Yes.
Although I again worry that Artemisia is going to be really, really upset
At what?
at being busted in on by her terrible stepmother.
I guarantee you, if they go to Lilton's pad, wherever it is, they won't be busted in.
How are we going to get her there?
Well, won't Lilton take her there?
Well, no, but like Marcelea is just going to come here and we're going to say she's not here and she's going to say let me in anyway and she's going to call me names and I'm going to call her names and then
Somebody's
somebody's going to witch bolt somebody.
Didn't you say we don't have to answer the door?
I did. That's a good point. I just really like yelling at her.
What if none of us were here, Sarshan says? What if all of us went out to fest halls and caroused?
Then she could find us easily. Here's what I think.
But she's not looking for us. She's looking for Lady Artemisia.
I am certain
Oh God, I
of it.
forgot her weird magic problem.
She can find Artemisia wherever she is. I bet. She's a diviner.
I don't like this sitting on my hands part.
What if half of us went to go get scrolls or ask Mirren or Illyra to cast spells to mask Artemisia's location? And what if the other half of us try to get Artemisia to remember the courage that she discovered in the arena today?
I like that. You could just destroy her like she's a Manticore.
she had the power within her always.
We gotta go get her away from Milton so she can get a proper long rest.
Instead of a bunch of little short rests.
And on that note, that's all the time we have. And so the Westgate Irregulars now have a plan, or the first foundations of a plan, to save Artemisia from 3 people. From Marcelea, from Lilton and from herself.
And she needs it.
Tune in next week to learn more about the theft that didn't actually come up in this half of the game.
That's great.
Learn more about the Sarshan and Wolf problem, which also didn't come up in this half of the game. And finally, see Celia get her vengeance upon this horrible, horrible woman.
It's really vengeance for Artemisia. It's a gift.
I've been Eric Scott to be your DM for the evening. Thank you to you, my audience, and I will go around and have each of my players say something to end the show. Starting with Aaron.
Thanks to our sponsor, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms.
Woo! Thank you to our moderators tonight, Snowy Wolf and Player Red.
Thank you, additional sponsors, Gen Con and Chaldea Studios, and Herblast. I haven't forgotten that you still owe me a favor.
I wanted to say thank you also to Shay, our third moderator. She was ill, but she managed to make it, and that is really awesome. Shout out to Jason and his daughter watching our stream this evening. Thank you. I hope you're in bed because it's probably past your bedtime. Steven?
Oh, and thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Check out our website for more info on the NPCs, the profiles on the players and the characters, and lots of fun bonus material. And stay scrawly.